enough for day-to-day living. Parker's dream. guys, how are we all doing today? We have very kindly Oh, not too sure what's gone wrong with the scenes. What I'll quickly do we have an interview for you guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully we can fix it all now. But yeah, we have an interview with Chris 7. Sorry about that. Hello there, guys. How are we all doing today? We have very kindly been joined by Chris 7 here on the One Pin side. He will just be joining us for a short little interview. And how are you feeling today, Chris?
I am feeling very fine after practice.
Good.
Yeah,
Chilling.
just that's what you got to do. You know, feel good,
Yeah.
feeling fresh after practice. Obviously, got final tomorrow. I'm sure everyone's excited. I'm sure you're excited. But what I was wondering, obviously, after the VP Prodigy game you guys played yesterday or the day before, obviously Dust 2, the first map, you went down 16-4. It was a bit of an annihilation, but on the final two maps, you guys completely turned it around and just dominated VP Prodigy. How was it you sort of were able to reset so easily and sort of just come back into that, and the whole team just looked as if they never sort of got bested at all?
Yeah, well, those two is kind of bad map for us because we are barely cracking it at the moment. But obviously we're feeling very confident on the Ancient and Inferno, and yeah, I can say everyone was feeling pretty confident. I can say I'm very satisfied with everyone's mentality and how they reset after the map, so it didn't like affect us that we lost 16-4, and yeah, we managed to close out the other two maps pretty good.
Yeah, they definitely were. Obviously, you touched upon how the mentality of your team's really strong. What are you guys feeling going into that grand finals tomorrow?
Well, as I said, we've been practicing today. We are practicing every day we possibly can. We are squeezing every hour, and I honestly I feel ready. Obviously, um, we will try our best and we will try to play our A game, and hopefully we win.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've definitely got a good chance. I mean, me and Fred obviously spoke about a lot of the time since Into the Breach and sort of Iron Branch got knocked out. It feels like you guys, at least in our opinions, are sort of the slight favourites. Do you feel like you're coming into the finals as the favourites?
I don't like to look into tournaments as if who's the favorite and that stuff. I just like to play game by game and see how it pans out. And yeah, I mean, I I'm watching my team only, and I I just want us to play our A game, and whatever happens after happens.
Yeah, really, potentially the mentality that a lot of players need to take upon themselves. I think that definitely is the right kind of style to play. Just forget about the next games or the last ones. Focus on this one. But obviously, you kind of played with the main core of this roster, I believe, on the Heaven and Hell team.
Yeah.
Quite a while ago in May, and then obviously you've been reintroduced into One Pin fairly recently. And do you feel like that? You guys have finally met you're at your peak, because obviously you've been rejoined, the team's looking amazing. Do you feel like you guys are finally at that stage where you are just getting better and better and better, and you finally gelled all together, and it's all kind of working out now?
Yeah, I want us to take a step back. We won obviously ECA Open season 46, if I'm not mistaken, with Kevin and Heo. Then yeah, some things that I regret happened, but yeah, now that I'm reunited with the boys after 4 months separation, I can see that everyone improved. Everyone is very motivated to play, and yeah, I just see the improvement from the time that I haven't been there with them, and yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. And obviously, we are not at our peak yet because it's been 3 weeks since I joined, and I think there is a lot more to put on the table than we currently are. But obviously, we are trying our best to improve.
Obviously, final tomorrow. Any final words you want to say to the fans and anyone at home watching?
Um, First of all, thanks to everyone supporting us. I hope that you will be cheering for us tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully the result is on our side.
Well, that is very, very great words there for you, Chris. Thank you very much for joining us once again. And
Thanks for the
obviously,
invite.
best of luck in your grand finals tomorrow. I hope you guys all enjoyed that little snippet from obviously from Chris Seven on the side of One Pin. We had a nice little chat with him yesterday about his thoughts going into this one, but we should be jumping into this one very shortly, Charlie. But what are your initial thoughts going into it?
I mean, this is the grand final. This is what the whole season's been building up to. And the thing that I find most interesting is if you said at the start of this tournament, what teams are we expecting here? I don't know if these were necessarily the ones we were expecting in the final. I think they definitely expected quarterfinals, semi-finals, but really impressive stuff from these two teams. They've looked unbelievable throughout the whole season, had some unbelievable results, some great upsets that we've seen. The one that really comes to mind, HOTU, best in Iron Branch. That was really impressive. Iron Branch were, I know, Flamboyant's favourites to win it, and I think a lot of other people's favourites as well. So such a big result. These teams have played unbelievable CS, and it feels like both teams massively deserve to be here now.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's pick'ems have been slightly kind of messed around with, not messed around with, but kind of messed up, because obviously me and you, we put into the Breach to take it. Obviously we've seen a lot from them and they've looked absolutely amazing. But then obviously Flamboyant, as you mentioned, chose Iron Branch, and you know, none of us have got it right. It seems as though One Pin and HOTU, they're the two teams that are going to be taking the crown here today. But the real question is to who? Obviously, we have seen the map vetoes come through. We are going to be starting things off on Ancient. Then we go to Inferno, which was One Pin's map pick. And then obviously we finalize things on Overpass. But I feel like it's an interesting map pool. I feel like both of the first two maps are quite, you know, favor the One Pin side. We've seen them look absolutely amazing on Ancient. Obviously HOTU, they played it as well. But I feel like we could be seeing a 2-0 here. You know, once again, it's the same kind of story we spoke about. You know, when you have a team, especially like One Pin, like HOTU, when they've got the kind of well-versedness on both these first two maps, it really could quite easily go to a 2-0. Obviously, that's not what we're wanting to see. We kind of want things to end on Overpass, but I think it should be a really, really nice kind of set of maps.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying, obviously Ancient, Inferno, both teams do know how to play it, have played it in the regular season, have played it in this season in general. So it is going to be an interesting one, really, just to see how this does go, because it does feel like all maps both teams can play to a decent standard or a very high standard out of that. So it definitely does leave that possibility for a 2-0, but I think it definitely leaves a real good chance to go all three, which is, like you said, that's what we want to see. This is the finals. No messing around here. We want to see that best level Counter-Strike. And we've seen some unbelievable finals in the past, and this one, I can tell, is going to be no different.
Yeah, and I think as well, obviously, when you are kind of in this grand finals position, you are going to be well-versed on all maps, because realistically, you've got yourself to a final. It's not because of, you know, just individual brilliance. It's coming down to the intricacies on every single map that you are going to be facing off against. So it should be a very nice one to see. Obviously, we've seen HOTU look very good on Overpass recently. One Pin, we haven't really seen that much from them on Overpass in the playoffs, I don't believe. But still, I feel like if it does go that third map, it's clear to see why One Pin left Overpass in the pool. They're still very confident on it. And yeah, I can't wait to see this one shape out. But if you had to favour a side, Charlie, who do you think you'd be leaning towards?
I mean, right now it's so tough to decide. I feel like we've seen both teams really hit their peak in certain rounds, in certain maps. That is just so impressive to watch. Obviously, versus One Pin versus VP Prodigy, they went down 16-4. They lost the first map, Dust 2. Absolutely switched things up. Absolutely dominated VP Prodigy after that. The ability to be able to mentally reset after such a dominant first map and look so dominant on the final two maps of the series, it takes a real special type of a team for that. But I don't want to talk about what team I'm favouring. What player do you think is going to stand out in this game? Is there anyone you're looking at and thinking, oh, he could really sort of just control this game individually?
I'll be honest with you, Charlie. I'm looking at the man that we have the little chat with. I reckon Chris Seven's going to be the one to do a lot of work in the server here today. But we are jumping straight into it now. Obviously, HOTU, this is their map pick, so we will be seeing One Pin start on that CT side. But something to mention, Charlie, you brought up that VP Prodigy game. Their first game not working out so well on Dust, but the final two maps of the series for One Pin, they were Ancient and Inferno. So you've got to imagine these two teams, You know, I feel like it is going to be a real battle. One Pin in the semi-finals, they dominated on Inferno and Ancient, so I can't wait to see this one play out. But Shine rotating in, helping his teammate out, gets a double. That is absolutely amazing. Dox finds Mizuxa, and now it's just Swift Steel remaining in the 1 versus 4. Straight away hit. HOTU are in the on the back foot.
Fred, a battle I'm looking forward to seeing is Swift Steel versus Shine. Obviously, they're not actually both AWPers. Shine certainly is, but the clutch potential on both of these players, we saw it in both teams' sort of semi-finals, didn't we? One Pin, Shine was non-stop winning these unbelievable clutches, and Swift still had the most important moments. Nice effort to find the first, but Chris Seven, the man you pointed out, crossfire too strong and finds the frag with the dual Berettas. One Pin, they take the pistol round on HOTU's map pick.
And I think the way you put it as well, near perfect. I feel like we are going to see some crazy clutches in this one because I feel like it's needed. You know, you're going to be starting around. If you lose a couple early picks, you're already in that kind of clutch potential. You're already in a disadvantaged situation. But as you mentioned, both Swift, Steel, and Shine, we've seen them in the clutch situations. And we've seen what they can do. But also, you spoke about Shine in the clutches. Let's speak about Shine on the AWP. I can't wait to see the AWP battle between Gokushima and Shine. I think it is going to be an absolutely amazing one. Both of these AWPers can get to that kind of top tier level. Gokushima absolutely destroying in the server, and Ruler does it in this round.
That's actually going to be a free bomb plant there. Shine is rotating in with this M4. Does find one. Finds the bomb planter, but the bomb is already down. Shine's just going on an absolute tear. He's actually on for the ace. Chris 7 does find one, and Dox looks primed to take the last. Bomb plant and 1 kill. Successful eco round there, really, from HOTU. They're very minimal sort of weaponry invested. Deagles at best, Glocks at worst. So, yeah, not too bad from them at all. And the thing is, with that bomb plant, I was going to say, there shouldn't really be a chance Gokushima can get a sort of AWP in the next round. There is a possibility now. Thanks to that bomb plant. Yeah, obviously it's a risk. You can see he's got no head armor.
Yeah, when you
have the AWP and no util, but when you're Gokushima, does that really matter?
You say when you're Gokushima, you're against. We've got 2 SMGs in play, a FAMAS as well. Obviously, the M4s alongside it. All it takes is a bullet to the head. Gokushima could be out of this one.
We've seen how lightning fast Gokushima is. Oh, slight miss nade there, Chris 7. Just staring at his problem.
I don't know if you saw the trajectory of that nade. It actually went in the gap.
Oh, it's CS clipping. You can never trust it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how has Case got here? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Even after that aggressive playstyle from Case, finds no benefit from that. That is so unfortunate. Got himself in the back line, did a perfect position. Must have just crept his way out A. Got a timing, but didn't utilize it all too well.
Yeah, you saw HOTU were lining up for an execute because of Case. They were regrouping all the team there, but ended up being pointless. So they've ended up choosing to go towards mid. Util was good, but counter Util was better. Denies HOTU actually being able to push out.
That was great from, I believe, Leaf and Azuu. Both together here towards middle. Play was mollied off in Cubby, but the flash and the swing of the UMP allowing Azuu to fall back. But obviously, disadvantaged situation here for HOTU. Only a nade as their pieces of utility, so it is going to be tough. And Dox drops the smoke. This is going to be tough for them now. Chris 7 going to be lining up, defending towards ramp, and we do have Shine rotating in, so we've got a 3-man B defense. And look at Leaf, he's progressing through A. They've got all the information. They know it's going to be this B hit here. The smoke's going to fade, and Ruler, he's got a lot of work to do. He finds the first, but the trade come through. Dox, an important kill. That is the AWP that gets taken down, and now it's Dox on the bomb site. That is a brilliant play from Dox. He gets 3 in that round. Shine rotating in, found 1 as well. And 1 pin, they find 3 in a row here. They are looking amazing on this CT side. And you've got to imagine, Charlie, that all started from Case. The fact that Case pushed all the way through A into Temple, it seemed like he had a near guaranteed kill. And Shine finding it really set things up for 1 pin to take it.
Yeah, it certainly feels like Case should have, potentially could have done a bit better there. So maybe just got completely caught out, but either way, nice effort. But 1 pin just slightly ahead here. It's going to be a basic A execute. This is what HOTU went for on their last eco.
I like the smokes they're sending.
Allowed them to get the kill and the bomb plant. You can see there's a few more bodies on 1 pin, slightly close towards this A side. So rotations are good, but Dinkle to Azuu brings him down low. Azuu could deny the plant, inches away.
And I like that. Azuru on the orb now. Given the M4 to Shine, and although Azuru's not that low HP, it will allow Shine to guarantee some kills, but things are going very wrong here. Shine has found 2 in this round. Needs to find a couple more, though. Spots the player outside Temple. Got a player in main as well, and Mizuxa searching for a pick here. Does find Shine. It's a 2 versus 3 now. Everything's gone wrong. He's just going to be sticking the bomb here, but Dox will only be able to find one. Needs to stick the bomb in the smoke, but he can't find it. Oh, and that is a great way for HOTU to find a round completely out of nowhere. Nice little chimes there in the background.
Yeah, I don't really know why, you know, Alexa's sort of wanted to chime in on the car.
She's got a mind of her own. That was
just a duo today.
That's
obviously
the new round win sound.
Maybe. In fact, that'd be terrible. That'd be horrible. It's like the iPhone alarm now. You don't know how much that infuriates me when I hear it. Just I've heard it too much now. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe get an Alexa music pack.
You have just won the round.
I mean, I feel like you could have done a better impression than that.
Sorry, my bad. I've just, you know, Alexa's never gonna see me in the same light anymore. Whenever I go round to yours,
you got to hate Cortana. Or was it okay, Google? I don't know. I don't have them. That's the one. But one thing, just off of that, for one round forced onto this eco. Got a few deagles in play, but nothing's really exactly that exciting about this by Mizusa. Seems to be handling things pretty comfortably.
I really want some of the action as well, so he's going to be peeking his way on through. Does find Leaf, blinded by his own teammate, but can just back away as well. So it is just Shine and Dox. Obviously, we can see weapons being brought out in the next one pin, but off the back of that eco round, we've seen HOTU. They've been able to find 2 rounds off the back of this. They've just given themselves a, you know, an avenue back into this one, because realistically, it's a 3-2 scoreline. We could have been seeing a, you know, a 4-0, maybe even a 4-1 at best, but one pin, that round loss really has affected them. We're not going to be seeing Shine on the AWP. We're going to be seeing slight limitations regarding utility. So a really unfortunate round for them to lose, and especially when it was just those Tech 9s invested.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think, with that buy, the thing that really let them down was that sort of temple setup. It looked good on paper, but the fact that I believe it was Dox just went down for nothing, and Azuru just missed their AWP shot, and they went down soon after. You've just got 2 weapons holding this aggressor and found absolutely nothing. It was a bit disappointing, but obviously things do happen. You're in a grand final. You've got to expect the pressure's going to be higher than ever.
Definitely, we are going to be seeing somewhat of a short crunch here. We did see the smoke and the molly towards ramp. Flash will come over. Gokushima going to try and keep Ruler alive, but slow aggression. Oh, he's been spotted. That is great control taken here from one pin. And that's 2 opening picks for them straight away. Kind of go back to the usual winning ways.
This could be really dicey here. Mizusa straight into Shine's crosshair. Gokushima. Important trade.
Charlie, this
still 4 versus 1.
This is a grand final, and Shine has 1 less kill than his whole team combined. He's 11-4. Just let some of the other 1-pin players find some frag, Shine. It's a bit unfair.
I mean, Shine versus VP Prodigy was a really impressive sort of sight to see. He was someone who, I mean, it feels like he hit a level we haven't seen as regularly as he'd like to show. It feels like he was just consistently on top form, rather than, I feel like every game you see glimpses of what Shine's sort of capable of. In that series, it was non-stop.
It seemed as though
they're really going to need him to be doing the exact same stuff today.
It seemed as though it wasn't even kind of, it wasn't 1-pin versus VP Prodigy, as you mentioned. It was just Shine.
Shine and friends.
Shine and friends.
Yeah. It did give off that vibe. Gokushima heading towards A main. Obviously, he's not going to want to peek out. In fact, he is peeking out. He is just tagged. I don't imagine Chris 7 would be able to find the kill, even if he did jump up. But either way, 1-pin. 4-2. They look really impressive on their full buys, actually. I mean, the issue is, I feel like what we've seen so far, it does seem like their A site is their weaknesses, and HOTU might be able to try to exploit that a bit more
I think it's clear to see that one pin, they've got a lot of setups, a lot of kind of strategies towards both mid and B, because that is generally where the brute force of the attack will come from. I feel like a lot of teams on the T side of Ancient, you know, quite comfortably leave the A-bomb site open. I feel like you do see the A-bomb site get somewhat neglected, and that's probably what one pin have been doing. Look, yeah, they've got a defender, but currently towards Donut, Zulu just going to be playing passively here, but it could catch them off guard.
I mean, we've seen moments where sort of they haven't had a defender and they're just playing towards sort of candles or mid-house. But Case just going to be that lurk towards A, going to see if he can abuse the timing. In fact, it looks like one pin aren't just going to be boosting a player up.
Well, I feel like they're not going to expect a Zulu here from the boost, unless if he could have heard the jump up.
Definitely is that possibility. I feel like jumping, sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't. It is a bit awkward sometimes.
I guess we'll find out whether he has been heard. Azui playing a nice angle here, though. They can be going back towards middle. Oh, this late mid. The change to go towards A. It will be Leaf here towards Donut. Does just drop the smoke, and they're going to be pushing his way on through it. Oh, Ruler! That is a cheeky kill, that. And Case does get taken down by Azuru, and Azuru just needs to get himself into main. Can just be an absolute nuisance from the back lines. Man advantage here still for one pin. Chris 7 and Azuru, 99 HP combined. So the health exactly even on both sides. Obviously a lot more utility on the one pin side, though. We are going to be having Docs looking... We're having a little bit of a look in towards middle. Might be able to take down this player on the flank. Oh, Swift Steal. I like the idea behind it. But it certainly just didn't work out.
How did Gokushima get here? Finds one, it's a low HP player. Got a few more bodies. Does not expect that swing into him.
I like the idea behind the jump shot from Gokushima. Oh, they do have enough time with Docs' kit. I didn't even realize Docs is 11-1. It really is the two-man team here for one pin.
And already the grand finals given us so much. 5-2 though, one pin continuing their streak.
Once again though, another half investment from HOTU, and this is the type of round that one pin cannot fumble, because we saw what happened to them in the last. It is just going to be a lot of util towards B. Shine posted up with the AWP. We do have 3 defenders here, but Mizuxa going to be getting aggressive. Nice find from Dogs. Mizuxa getting 1. Oh, finds a second Ruler on the tech as well. It's a 1 versus 2 now. It's just Azuu remaining. One pin really need to work on these anti-ecos.
I don't know if these weapons are actually going to be able to be retrieved. Azuu would have had a perfect timing. Look at Gokushima pushing up, finds the kill. HOTU, to point out for it, all the rounds that HOTU have won so far have come off of these ecos.
It's ridiculous, and they're going to find another one for it. But actually, we might need to see an investment here. Azuru and Chris 7 going to struggle with a buy. Docs is bringing out an AWP. Love to see this. Shine could have, in fact, dropped over an M4 and could have wielded the AWP there. Could have just played unarmored. And that potentially could have been the play, because we've only got one real weapon here. But
oh, I just assumed Shine was going to drop over the Deagle.
No, I feel like Docs, we've seen him wield the AWP a couple times here and there, and I guess we'll be able to see it in this one.
I mean, the fact that HOTU can level things up off of winning 2 weak buys is pretty unbelievable. Obviously, they won the first, had to play against an eco of one pin, bested that one as well. And then obviously just won that one prior. Playing against a force buy of one pin. If they beat this one, it's a weak force buy at that. And if they beat one pin again, they're just going to get an eco. And it'll be literally 2 rounds has just sort of kick-started HOTU's half, and 5 rounds on the T side early. Not too bad at all.
It seems as though one pin, you know, a lot of the util was coming over from the HOTU side, but we didn't see any counter utility. We didn't see any flashes to delay them, or, you know, any Molotovs towards ramp. We could have seen just one Molotov, and it would have absolutely ruined the HOTU aggression. But yeah, I feel like one pin, they need to play a little bit smarter on these anti-ecos. They're going to be gambling towards A here, but the bomb's just been dropped outside B. Ooh, I think they're going to be going back towards A. The call could be perfect here. Swift still going to try and get himself in the back lines. That's something that Docs needs to be a little bit wary of. Obviously, as he is currently playing towards Temple. Might just be here to cut off rotations. Everything's been heard here. Ruler will find Leaf. An important frag. We've got a player elevated up. That is a Zulu. Does find one. That is the bomb. Needs to search for the second. Does get taken down here. And now the orb of Docs finds absolutely nothing in this round. It's just Shine remaining.
Shine falls as well. HOTU will indeed level things up unless One Pin can pull off some heroics on this eco round.
That's absolutely ridiculous. As you mentioned, all of these rounds have just come off the back of these Tech 9s, these Deagles that have been invested. And One Pin really going to be looking back at this first map and kind of questioning, you know, if it doesn't go their way, kind of questioning, you know, we were looking amazing on Ancient. Our CT side was brilliant. The only rounds we lost were the ones against Ecos, but I feel like they're the rounds that you need to kind of confirm. I say there was a game, I believe there was a game in, it was the SCL, it could have been somewhere else, but all the rounds just won on Ecos. And it's really crazy to see that sometimes all it takes is just this half investment to kickstart your attack.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what it did to One Pin here. Just they hadn't had a massively stabilized economy, and the fact that the rounds that they should be winning with sort of 4 or 5 players alive to build that economy up, just they lose those. So they never had a stable economy, which means the rounds that HOTU win instantly, One Pin, their money's gone, drained.
I wonder what we're going to see in the next. Obviously, Shine could potentially bring out the orb. It would be at the cost of head armor, but seeing as we've got 4 AKs and an orb, not really going to be too problematic.
I think One Pin are probably just going to try to keep hold of these weapons, try not to give any kill reward to HOTU, but I don't actually know if that would be worth it that much. You have to think, in terms of the weapons they've got, if the rifles find all the kills, there'll only be 1,500 split between the whole team. And it might be worth just sort of
Trying to find
seeing
one.
if they can take a kill or two, because obviously that would take away a lot more. Look at the money that HOTU already have in the reserve thread. You're going to be adding around 3,400 to that. They're definitely not going to complain at all. It's not as if they've got weaker weapons. It's not like they've got Mac 10s and they're going to be forced to stick with these. No, they've got AKs. They've got their full buy. Basically, what One Pin have opted to do there is just allow them to build their money up.
In One Pin, they need to win this next round dominantly, or they're going to be facing off. Well, they're still going to be facing off against a full buy in the next. So, if they win this one, they've got to have at least 3-4 players surviving, or they're really going to struggle in the next, because they've already got limitations in this round. It's going to be even worse in the next. Zulu very much aware of that aggression, heard the pin of the flash, did dodge it, and just started spraying straight away. And that's a great way to find an opening pick. Ruler already so deep here up ramp. Got another player as well. Docs surely going to try and find this pick. Ooh, great kill onto Ruler. Has spotted another hit. All about timing. The flash will come over. Let's blind him.
Force Mizusa back. Orps towards B as well now.
Charlie,
Fred,
how
look
deep
towards A.
Case, yeah.
Yeah, how is Case got? Well, it doesn't matter. Once again, Gage finds a deep angle and just finds absolutely nothing for his troubles. There's a similar story. You see Goku Shima trying to rotate in towards A so he can come towards that slide with his teammate, but always the plan does get foiled at the last second.
Yeah, both T's going to be leaning towards middle here. We've got Shine holding the flank. Zulu posted up on Donut from the big box. HOTU, real question is, where do they even go here? They've got a smoke and a flash. It's going to be tough. Whichever bomb site they lean towards, it's going to be a difficult one, but they've chosen correctly. As the A bomb site defended by 2. A lot of util coming in here. Lisa in a great position. Does find one. It's just got Kashima remaining. Might try and save this orb here. Ooh, the missed shot. Surely going to get hunted. But after that kill, they're not going to keep hunting because obviously the money, as we mentioned, for HOTU, very good. But at One Pin, if they carry on hunting, they're going to get a really weak buy in the next.
Yeah, obviously it'd be beneficial to hunt that orb in the long run, but yeah, like you said, And I feel like just in terms of the one pin economy, in terms of how this game's gone so far, it's probably better if they just try to keep hold of all their weapons.
Yeah, definitely. One pin though, they do take the lead once again here. Doc's gonna be sending some early util towards Ram. That's a Molotov and a nade. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto Mazukza. Dropped down to 10 HP here. Trapped in front of a molly. And also just behind one as well. Very low HP on Mazukza. Gokushima might be switching that AWP across. Nice spam there. Chris 7. That's a great find onto the AWP of Gokushima. Mazukza has retrieved it.
Not much HP on Mazukza either. Util is a bit lackluster in terms of how many smoke grenades they've got. Just a single one on Swift still. They are going to be heading towards A, but Shine's in quite an advantageous position.
He's a great position. Finds a kill, backs away, rinse and repeat.
Should be able to find the info reasonably early, so Leaf can rotate in as quick as possible.
The info's going to be gathered in a second. He's heard the AWP scope. Oh, he sees the tip of his hat and he finds the kill. Molotov will be dropped. The lucky thing there for Shine is Mazukza was very low HP.
We'll get behind Xbox now. Flashbang's good. If it was a HOTU in between two mines, yeah, might need to be a save. 20 seconds on the clock. They're going to just try to fast burst towards B, the shift, and yeah, it looks like it's going to be a save, Fred.
Yeah, obviously they're going to be keeping these weapons in the next. They've got enough money to invest as well. Swift still can drop over an AK to Mazukza, but this will be the final buy for HOTU if one pin do find success here.
Yeah, it's all good, obviously, keeping your weapons alive. The issue is, though, without any sort of loss bonus, it's just really punishing them in general. Just, I mean, we saw how good the economy was, and then you've got players like Ruler just sort of stagnating on 2.9k. It's not really perfect situation, but obviously we know what HOTU can apparently do on just these sort of Tech 9 rounds in general, so you can never count them out.
Yeah, the economy's been a bit weird. All the rounds have been won kind of as a group, as a little bit of a couplet. It seems as though there hasn't been those individual back and forth. It seems as though these rounds have been grouped. Oh, Azui's got a lot of information. Does just drop the Molotov. We got 4 players towards main, and it is Swift Steel on this lurk. I feel like we see Swift Steel on this lurk quite a lot of the time. The smoke will land, but there is a massive gap on the right-hand side. And Swift Steel. Oh, the timing's not good. And Chris 7, that is a great find. Getting very deep towards middle. Will drop the smoke. Very much aware of this mid aggression. And now they're going to be sending it towards B. But Docs has rotated in as well. It seems as though HOTU, they have their initial plan. Let's go towards A. And then the second they lose a pick, they just switch it up.
Yeah, but it's very obviously a bit choreographed, isn't it? It feels quite obvious. One pin team very aware. Smoke going to be dropped towards the door. Nade as well accompanying it.
Ooh, nice nade.
Decent amount of damage to Mazukza, and Dogs is getting pressured, finds nothing on the initial push, but we do have Chris 7 here in K, finds one.
Brilliant kill from Chris. That keeps man advantage in their favour. We've got a lot of flashbangs remaining for one pin. Oh, and they're getting sent through, and that is perfect. Azuwu sends in the flash. Leaf gets a triple, and that is brilliant. One pin, they take the half hit. Now, once again, the money for HOTU isn't perfect. Swift still potentially going to be on a Mac 10, maybe even a Galil. But they might actually get a buyout in this one. Obviously, I don't really know what they do here. They are going to be bringing out a buy. It will be a weak buy in the next if they're not successful. But it's going to be an interesting one.
I think at this point, you're still going to play these rounds just as if you're going to win them. Just because obviously, yes, they'll get a really weak buy in the next round. But everyone can buy apart from Swift still. So you sort of just got to take the hit. Play Galil Swift still, play something else on Mac or UMP or whatever. And I think Gokushima can get an AWP out as well. It's just, it sort of feels like it has to be done.
Yeah, well, I feel like as well, you know, you could go for a little bit of a half buy. It could be, you know, AK's armor, no util kind of thing. But I think, you know, the HOTU clearly confident in their own ability. So let's just get a buy on this one. If we win it, we can find 7. But like, you do see the limitations on Swift still straight away. Obviously, we do have 2 AKs and the AWP on the 1-pin side. So there's only really 2 players with those M4s that can really just instantly take Swift Steel out. But
yeah, I think if the rest of the team can sort of manage to get full util or near enough full util, I don't think it'll matter too much that Swift still has absolutely nothing.
definitely can just entry. Obviously, we see Swift Steel loving a bit of a lurk, but oh, util's being dropped over from Mizuxa. I really like that. Operating as this entry for the HOTU side. So definitely makes sense to see Mizuxa dropping the util over. I like the early smoke here from 1-pin. It will allow Dox to take this control. This kind of allowed Dox to, you know, find so many frags. He gets so deep early on, and usually HOTU, they like that early aggression towards B ramp. So when they progress their way on through, we do see Dox finding those kills. But HOTU playing a little bit more reserved in this round. We are going to be seeing the util coming through now, though. Potentially might just be a simple B hit. Ooh, the aggression here from Mizuxa. Smoke will land. Oh, he can find the kill, though. Will get taken down by Chris 7, rotating in towards Cubby. The Molotov will force him out. Fully blinded here, still on the backside, still alive somehow. He won't find a kill. A little bit of damage onto Case. 4 versus 3 now. And Leaf waiting for the smoke to fade. Does find the kill. 3v3. He's still got a fair bit of util for the 1-pin side. Only 2 flashes remaining for HOTU.
Bomb still isn't down. It's going to be delaying time. Case towards cave. Does spot Leaf.
They want another pick before the bomb goes down, and they might be gifted an opportunity. Oh, Shine, in fact, finds the bomb carrier. Oh, Shine going for a no-scope. He's trapped between a rock and a hard place, but he's still making things work here. Found 2 in this round, and Ruler, all that remains. Great opening pick. He's aware that this final player is towards cave, but it doesn't matter if you're aware. Leaf will take you down. And a great round here for 1-pin. No need for the AWP save, as there's a lot of money on a lot of these players. But the buy from HOTU definitely not going to be perfect. And this is where 1-pin, they can find double digits. And something to mention, Charlie, this is HOTU's map pick.
Yeah, we did definitely mention this was, at least the maps in this series, it definitely gave off the vibe that a 2-0 is certainly possible. It didn't feel like, oh, this map, yeah, 1-pin's definitely massively favored on it and HOTU aren't. None of the maps felt like that, did it? It definitely did feel like, oh, it's definitely all up in the air, every single map. But it also sort of give us the sort of feeling that it could set up a 3-mapper. But if 1-pin can keep this up, maybe not so much as Uwu finds one before backing through the smoke once again. But it's these pistols, Fred. We know how good HOTU are on them.
We're going to see another round that HOTU finds success just off the back of the pistols. We've got a real chance to do it. We've got 2 players behind this donut smoke. As it fades, they take down the bomb planter. But just after the digits get punched in, Gokushima on the orb will get 1. 2 versus 2 now, and he's searching for this second. Ooh, pinpoint accuracy there, even while fully blind. It's all on Dox now. He's going to be hunting for Gokushima, but a simple kill. HOTU, they do find 9. They do restabilize here, getting the final round on the board. But a 9-6 scoreline, I feel like it's, you know, quite a fair result. Obviously, a lot of these rounds, 5 of these rounds, Charlie, have been off the back of these ecos. So
It's actually been all of them, Fred.
Oh yeah, that was an eco itself. Sorry, got completely
Yes.
lost.
Obviously, it was that full investment, but the weapons were pretty lackluster, if we're being honest. It was sort of a half buy if it was mid half, I suppose. But yeah, not ideal, not massively ideal when you consider that from 1-pin, because they have definitely been the dominant team on the full buys. The issue is they've really been struggling against these anti-ecos. You touched on it earlier. It does feel like there's definitely something to work on there. But what it's done is given HOTU enough time to sort of give themselves a warm into this game. Because obviously, if 1-pin just run away with this half, it can be really tough for HOTU just to get enough of a CT side to feel comfortable on it. But they've definitely got that chance now.
You say that though, they still weren't able to post a round or a full buy round on their T side. So you've got to imagine potentially not feeling it that much with the rifles. But I feel like as the rounds go on their CT side, they will be able to warm their way into it. Obviously, the one thing you've got to imagine, HOTU, for them, they need to win the pistol. Without it, it's going to be very tough, because 1-pin, they've looked amazing on their T side of Ancient. So you've got to imagine, Charlie, 1-pin find the pistol, we could be looking at a 12-6 scoreline. And when you only need to find 4 rounds out of the remaining what, the remaining 12, I feel like one pin could take it.
Dual Breath is invested on Gokushima. Kit out for Swift still. 4 flashbangs down the smoke for one pin. They're heading towards mid, in fact. There's only one defender here for now, and that is going to be Swift still in Donut. No armor, so can really get punished here. Chris 7 is alone with the bomb.
Yeah,
Backing away. I think that's the smarter decision, in fact.
Something will come through. They're going to get crunched on. We've got players in the backlines behind them. Shine needs to be aware of this. Oh, he's just tucked himself in. Finds one. Gets the second. Pinpoint accuracy there for Shine. Retrieves the Julies. Chris 7 takes down Ruler. A player on the back of the bomb side. That is Swift still. That is the kit. Oh, Shine does find the kill, but a little bit dicey there. And now it's all on Case. He has been spotted. And I feel like one pin. They should take this. All they need to do is play these nice crossfires. And Docs, I think he's going to be swinging now. We just need to see one pin not give Case these individual 1v1s.
Docs is playing this really well. Yeah, look at that. Just forced to back off. He knows that as soon as he peeks out and takes another fight, that's when Docs is going to swing. So he played that to perfection, really, from Docs. I'd love to see that. 0 kills in this round, but the impact he had is definitely noticeable. Like you mentioned, HOTU, it feels like they did need to win the pistol. One pin. They're the ones who run away with it.
Yeah, and it's a really nice round from one pin. I really like how they play that. I feel like a lot of the time you'll see a kind of a simple execute, you could say, just with those couple smokes and flashes, or you see a B rush. But no, one pin thought everyone goes towards A and B. We're going to be different, and it clearly worked out for them. But the way Shine played that, just tucked himself away, operated as that lurk, found that double. It was just perfect. It really set one pin up for success. And then we saw Chris 7 on the bomb site finding that player as well. It just seemed as though one pin is such a well drilled pistol round for them.
We do have a pause here.
Tactical or technical?
I think the question, it is a tactical pause. It is called from Docs, so it is called on the side of one pin. The thing that interests me more is what are HOTU going to do? Are we going to see this eco from them, or are they going to invest?
It seems as though these kind of half buys have been the ones where they're at their strongest, so potentially they could kind of look back into the previous success of their initial half, but no. Opting for the eco, I think that's the better play. I think you bring out the rifles.
They did that on the first pistol round as well. In fact, I was wondering, are we going to see a bit of a change up? Because they are, well, potentially if they lose this, they'll be 5 rounds down. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, just opted for the eco.
I'm not too sure why Rulers brought out a Deagle. Obviously, you know, want to try and restrict the money of the one pin side. But at the same time, really not going to have a great buy in the next. I guess each their own, though.
I feel like every time we say something like that, they end up getting like 3-4 kills with the Deagle.
Oh, he's gonna ace it now. He's gonna kill everyone. He's gonna
get
get
anything though. Will be a bit of an issue.
He's getting a 9k.
I believe there is a Zeus here on Case. Doesn't even want to challenge it.
He knows.
I actually love that. It just kills his teammate, backs away. Well, nothing to do with that. 3-man donut hold though. The smokes sort of towards donut entrance. It means it's going to be quite tough for any of these HOTU players to have that much impact. They're going to be heading towards mid. I think they want to find this UMP of Docs.
They want to punish him. Oh, the timing's certainly not perfect. We could have seen a knife kill there. K's primed to get that knife there. I thought he just crushed his way.
An AWP of that, in fact.
I feel like I feel like the AWP hasn't really had that much impact in this one. Obviously, because the economy of one pin on that CT side really wasn't working out too well. And then similarly, HOTU, the T side AWP isn't that fun kind of on the T side of Ancient. Obviously, we saw a couple kills here and there from Shine and Gokushima, but I feel like it wasn't like an AWP dominated affair. I feel like a lot of Shine's kills did come from the rifle.
Yeah, I think the only real noticeable round that I felt like Gokushima had with the AWP was actually the final round of the first half. The one where he started with the pistol but picked up the AWP. Finding 3 kills there. That was a really important round, but obviously, yeah, like you said, I felt like the T side of a lot of maps can be quite tough to sort of consistently find impact with the AWP.
I feel like one of the only maps might be kind of one of the CS classics. I feel like Dust 2 Mirage, you really can utilize that AWP on the T side. Just those long sight lines, kind of the type of angles, they do kind of really favor the AWP. I think
it depends on the team as well, doesn't it? I feel like you can have teams that sort of heavily try to set up their AWP, and well, that's actually a great way to open up the B site. Interestingly, though, one pin just playing a bit slower. They're not even taking any of the control. They're waiting for these short rotations. One player has made it into cake, that being Swift still. Gokushima close towards mid. One pin, you don't want to make a mistake here with this smoke. Azuwu falls leaf. Falls straight after, so that two-man advantage quickly dissipated.
And potentially we should have seen one pin just send it out towards B. We do have two B defenders here. HOTU, they've kind of been given a gift. They can win this one now. This is absolutely ridiculous. How has the round even come to this? It was a 5 versus 3, Charlie, and it ended a 3 versus 0 for HOTU. That is absolutely incredible from those remaining HOTU players. A bit of a misplay from one pin. They got 2 kills towards B. Just progress onto the bomb site. I feel like they tried to kind of play that around a little too smart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, like, max, you'll probably have one more player there. I mean, there's no way they're going to go for a 4-man stack or a 5-man stack, so... Yeah, unfortunate stuff, and, I mean, you can also look at the sort of mid-play onto Gokushima was a bit of a misplay. Fair enough, you want someone to be sitting in the smoke, but it was the rifle sitting in the smoke.
And also, we didn't see any flashes. We had so many players towards B. We could have seen a deep flash landing towards cover, like the opening of mid, and it would have fully blinded Gokushima. We just didn't see any util. They peeked one by one. It just really isn't what you need to see. Especially when peeking into a player like Gokushima, you can't really overlook this HOTU side. Yes, one pin, they've had a great start. They even had a brilliant start to that round. Chris 7 getting a nice double, but I feel like they potentially overlooked the individual brilliance from certain players on this HOTU side. Nice flash coming through here. Perfect pot flash. Swift steal, though. We'll find one case as well. Gets a frag. Gokushima chimes in, too. That was a fall by Charlie. And HOTU make it look so easy.
Scoreline closing up now, 11-8. Gonna have to be a weak buy here from one pin, so HOTU should be able to find 9. It looks like Ancient's really going to be an exciting finish to this one.
It's quite disappointing for one pin. They would have been in a 12-6 scoreline. And they would have been against an eco of HOTU as well. So they could have found... It could have been 13-6. It could have potentially been in kind of the post screen by now. But...
maybe it's just the pressure of the grand final. You do have to understand it. Both teams fought so valiantly to get here. Neither want to fall at the last hurdle.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes in these kind of really high pressure games, you'll see a lot of missteps, a lot of misplays due to that pressure. But also kind of, I feel like a lot of teams will be hyper focused on not making any mistakes, and that will be the biggest mistake of them all. You know, you stop playing the classic CS that's got you to this grand final, and it is really tough to see.
And that's why we have sort of in interviews, you've got these sort of top tier players saying the most boring answer now, but it is true, sort of just these teams do want to have to play their own game, and I feel like that's just a sort of skill that you've got to develop where you just don't really worry too heavily about the other team. Just sort of focus on what you're good at. Case could get pressured. Somehow it is able to live on 8 HP.
Oh, he's 8 HP. One of the defenders here. Chris 7 could find him. Molotov very deep. Chris 7, if he gets this kill, oh, everything could go well, but that was the bomb carrier there. Misspray from Gokushima still finds the frag. They are just going to take down Leaf. Yeah, I feel like it was, from the interview from Chris 7, it was nice to hear that, we play our own game. We don't care if we're the favourites. We don't care if we're the underdogs. So, as I mentioned in that interview, potentially the right mentality that you need to have in these type of games, but HOTU, they brought themselves right back into this one. 11-9 scoreline now.
I'm lining up towards A. You've got a couple of players on one pin towards B. No real mid presence at all. It could be a bit of a fake. Flashbang does come over, but Doc's just dunked into the corner.
Docs can find a kill here. That will really sell this fake. Same with Leaf. Ooh, Mizugza. Cheeky way to get some damage. Ruler does find Chris 7. Gokushima on the AWP takes down Azuwu.
There you go. Basically, it's round done already. Bombs dropped in the middle of A site. You've got players like Leaf and 24 HP, or not anymore, I suppose. And just Shine and Dogs sort of no utility to fight it with. They don't really have any superior weaponry. So, yeah, this round's basically all said and done already. Dogs, in fact, has managed to creep his way in the back lines. And you do see a player like Case is actually holding that. So there's a possibility these A players might just have the information. Yeah, you can't come from behind. So maybe there is a chance, but Shine has to find this kill towards mid. He cannot put his teammate in the 1 versus 5.
Sadly, he does. All on docks now. As you mentioned, we do have a player holding. Got one looking towards Donut as well. Dox has been spotted now. Nice kill from Dox, but he gets taken down by Mizuxa. And 1pin. Only 1 round lead now, and things should get leveled up as it should just be this eco from 1pin. We should be seeing 5 rounds in a row from HOTU here. Remember, Charlie, this all came off the back of that kind of questionable 5v3 from 1pin. Definitely would be looking at a different scoreline right now.
Just this eco here, bit of a half by now for 1pin. If they fail to win this one, things will be leveled up, which is really impressive considering you got to think HOTU, the only rounds they won came off of half buys. Great start there from Leaf.
Nice deagle shot there. We've already got Shine so deep towards A. Oh, Chris7 finding Mizuxa. 1pin's really taking a page out of their opponent's book. Oh, Shine tasked with finding this pick. Spots the gun barrel, finds the frag. It's a 5v2, Charlie. And 1pin, they're not saying no yet. They're not saying this one's over. And Leaf can find this kill. Oh, it's a 5v1. This is amazing from 1pin. We're going to see all 5 players surviving. That is the question. Oh, and we've got the answer. It is a resounding yes. 1pin somehow. That's 5 alive on an eco.
I mean, yeah, you saw what happened there. Just a great shot there from Leaf. And then you see the player towards B try to take a bit of control. Tries to see if they can sort of find a kill back. They get punished for that. And then just these players sort of caught in rotation. You just see the individuals on every part of the map just finding their individual picks. Really nice round there from 1pin. HOTU get a taste of their own medicine. Sort of half by eco gods in this series so far.
Yeah, it was a great team performance there from 1pin. I feel like everyone was kind of chiming in here on there with those eco frags. I really like how Shine played that. The second there was aggression towards B, Shine just crept his way out, got into that very deep position. And why would you ever be worried about Temple?
I mean, to be fair, it did look like Swiss still had the awareness, but...
Well, I feel like he knew that there was a lurk, but I think he was a little bit too late. But straight away.
One of those half clears.
Yeah.
You sort of have a look, but you're like, oh, he could be here, but...
It's kind of...
I doubt it.
You're looking, so you've said that you've lurked.
Yeah, it happens. I hate when that happens. You sort of you go through the motions of clearing the angles, but you don't process that there's a player there.
You're kind of just clearing it, knowing there's no one there, and then when they are there, you look like an idiot.
You do a bit of a sort of double check.
That's why when I sometimes when I'm clearing angles, I'll say to myself in my head, they can be here. Don't half check it. You'll look like an idiot. Especially when someone's already dead, because it's an awful thing when someone's spectating you. And that's how you fall.
Yeah, it can be a bit brutal sometimes. But pause is cancelled now. 12-10 in favour of 1pin. Money on HOTU is very drained. They've got to buy in this one, but look at the money in the reserve. If 1pin can win this one, they can really set themselves up to take HOTU's map.
It'll be 14-10. I like this aggression already towards ramp. Shine setting up the flash for his teammates. We'll just drop the nade first. Is that nade onto Case?
Yeah, he was already tagged down a little bit. He did around 15 or so damage, but either way, it's just chipping him down lower and lower. I like that double nade there. Sadly, for 1pin, no one was there, but...
That'd be a great way to find an opening pick.
Yeah, that's something to learn for your FACEIT games there.
Yeah, download the demo, because that's a really cheeky one. Mizuxa just jiggling out here. Zuu fully blinded. Will get taken down. We do have a secondary player towards middle. That is Leaf. Hopefully for 1pin doesn't fall to the same circumstances of a Zuu. So still back holding towards middle. Man disadvantage here for 1pin. Leaning towards the B-bomb site, so still out in the open towards middle. So he will find Leaf, an important kill there. We've got a 3-man B defense currently and a player towards Cubby.
Shine's just holding passive for any sort of aggression, but how we're going to see any sort of aggressive play right now. Do this two-man cave hold here. Case finds one, gets taken down, but obviously this is just going to massively favor HOTU. They've already got a two-man advantage. They're just going to be keeping it.
Yeah, now Shine and Chris 7 with a lot of work to do. Shine in a tough position, does find one. Oh, Chris 7 takes him down as well. It's a 2 versus 2 now. A brilliant way for 1pin to give themselves a good chance here, especially when starting things off in a 2-man disadvantage. We've got a player coming from ramp and one from CT. Gokushima fires off that orb shot, makes his position known. Could be somewhat of a bait, but he does find the kill. It's now all on Chris 7, the player I mentioned, who I think was going to be the one to watch in this one. Got a lot of work to do.
Where he's going to be. The swing looks good, not good enough though. Gokushima does take him down. 5 versus 3. Went into a 2 versus 2, but as soon as Shine went down, so difficult. They knew exactly where Chris 7 was going to be. You got an AWP and a rifle just holding you. Gotta sort of hit your shots instantly.
This isn't going to be that bad of a buy here for 1pin, obviously. They've got their full investment, and Mizuxa on an MP9. Off the back of that one, 1pin, although they lost the round, they've got themselves in a better position. A lot of aggression out mid here. The flash will come through and Swift still fully blinded. Surely needs to get taken down there, but somehow keeps himself alive. Mizuxa.
I'm not sure if Zuu was blinded by that as well, so they opted not to swing, but definitely looked like a guaranteed kill there.
Ooh,
Nice
nice
ding dogs there with one of his last bullets.
Something to mention, Charlie. Azuru and Mizuxa on both sides really are kind of not performing to the standard, to the level that we're used to. Obviously, they are 2 of the strongest players on either team, so the fact that there's one on each team that aren't performing kind of makes things level, so it's a little bit lucky for both teams, realistically. If we saw Azuru just being the one who's kind of not to the standard that we're used to seeing, it would be a little bit unfortunate. But we need to see these 2 individuals stepping up their individual size. Lovely flash. Case finds the kill. And once again, we're in another 5 versus 3 in favor of HOTU. Searching for this pick. Do have a secondary play towards Donut as well. Zuu gets found. 2 versus 5 now. A near impossible round for both Shine and Leaf.
It feels like we're seeing sort of just individuals falling all over the map for 1pin and just leaving these plays in this clutch. Mizusa is towards the right side, but Shine does find Ruler. Mizusa makes his way out, so keeps himself alive, and now
2 versus 3, Charlie. Still winnable here. We do have a player coming from Cave. Oh, things are going very wrong here for Shine. Oh, he's been spotted. That is unfortunate. The gun barrel on the edge of the smoke, and HOTU, they do clutch out the round. 3 versus 2 there, and they find those 2 individual picks.
I thought Shine was going to peek as soon as he heard that flashbang, but just didn't wait. His all barrel spotted. Probably would have found that kill there. Unfortunate stuff, but HOTU really making this game closer and closer. The bomb plants are going to allow 1pin to constantly get these buys out. Dox does have enough to drop over to Shine.
And we're all back level here.
But right now, Fred, both AWPers are top of their sort of leaderboard respectively.
And we mentioned them. I feel like the AWPers are going to have a lot of dominance here in this game. I feel like they definitely have stepped up massively on this kind of second half. I feel like Shine on the T side really has put in the work, and similarly Gokushima on this CT side has come alive here.
Yeah, just that round that was a 3 versus 2. That in the 2 versus 2, Gokushima, really important kill that he found onto Shine. I feel like he's definitely coming alive here. 12 to 12, all leveled up.
I think what we should see from 1pin is you carry on your early aggression towards B, and then you just send it into an A execute. Realistically, HOTU, they're having so many players already rotated towards the B bomb site because of the conditioning that 1pin have already set. They keep leaning towards the B bomb site. They keep having success finding these opening picks on the bomb site. So just send it towards A. Be a perfect fake.
have been heard. Mazusa drops his smoke.
Shine not on the AWP in this one. A little bit of chip damage onto Mazusa.
Didn't mention that he did have the possibility to get the AWP out, but makes me think, are we going to see a bit more of a sort of just a pack mentality execute? Throw in the util and all the boys just swing as a unit.
Maybe in these kind of clutch situations, Shine's feeling, you know what, I'm a little bit trapped. I need to have that kind of freedom without the AWP. Could be a very important play. We do have 3 players lining up towards the B bomb site here for HOTU. I think it's just going to be this B execute for 1 pin. Cave has been taken from 1 pin. I don't think they realise that Deep Cave is clear, but all it's going to take is the left and right hand side smokes. And HOTU are going to really struggle to defend this bomb site. Molotov will be coming through. Oh, I love that deep molly. Oh, we're going to be seeing a boost coming through here. They need to be aware of this. Oh, and Case will be able to find a frag. Man advantage now for HOTU.
Both players allowed to fall back as well. No spams, but this aggression is great. Leaf gets a double back though. Finds 3, keeps this round alive. There's a long flank coming on from Swift still. Dox spots the player, it instantly flicks to his head. Gokushima 1 versus 3. Can't have any say in this round. Leaf though, what a performance. This was a 5 versus 3, and Leaf with an instant 3k.
That was brilliant. Seems as though they all lined up perfectly for him. And Gokushima just going to try and save here, but the money for HOTU really is going to be troublesome. Have they got a loss? Have they got any loss bonus? Must just be the 1, right?
We got no loss bonus. It's
yeah,
it's 1.4k.
They are absolutely screwed in this next round. 1 pin can find 14.
Thing you have to remember, Fred. It's obviously loss bonus on this is going to go up a little bit. It's only going to be 1.9k, so it's not going to be perfect. But they do have Gokushima on an AWP, and we've seen the amount of sort of half-wise ecos that HOTU have been able to win this one. So they got a couple of 5.7s, a Deagle in play, but more importantly, Gokushima's AWP. He's got to be very mobile here.
Look how much Swift Steel's invested. He won't be able to get a buy in the next. I think they're just hoping that Gokushima can save once again. But 1 pin, they need to secure this round. They need to find all the frags, and that's when they can dominate. Because as you mentioned, Gokushima really going to struggle to get an AWP out in the next. We'll have to play a glass cannon. And 1 pin, they've been given a gift in this one. The Molotovs will land towards Cave.
Yeah, forces 1 player back. Mazus, I don't know if he meant to shoot, but it does cost him his life.
Oh, the player on the flank. Azuru just going to be keeping his teammate alive. Gokushima's AWP has been spotted. And they're just going to be going towards B now. They know the AWP's on the back lines or in the flank, but he's not. Just rotated towards CT. We do have a flank coming through. That is Ruler. Deagle no armor though, and I feel like Chris 7 might get a little bit inquisitive towards ramp. Certainly does. And will take down Ruler. It's just Gokushima remaining. And will we see a hunt here from 1 pin? They know it's the AWP of Gokushima. Oh, he has been spotted towards middle. An important find onto Azuru. Flashes will come through from Dox here.
It is delaying a little bit of time for Chris 7. There's a flash coming out of Gokushima's advancing though. Chris 7 does get taken down by a quick shot.
That's a quick scope. Oh,
Surely
no.
not.
Surely this can't be possible. He has enough time. He's just going to stick it. We'll get taken down. I love that from Gokushima. I love it.
Oh, I was stunned into silence as soon as I saw him pushing towards B. I was very worried for 1 pin, but I like that from Gokushima. It is cheeky. To point out as well, the kills that Gokushima did get there has allowed him to get the AWP out again. Obviously, it is better than Glass Cannon, having just Kevlar, no head armor, and the AWP. Obviously, no util though, but I mean, we already saw what you can do with the AWP in that round. Did find 3.
This is what I mentioned, Charlie. Swift Steel in a position where he's got a deagle, a smoke, and a flash for survival. This is the full investment. This is potentially going to be the last full buy for HOTU. Great find from Gokushima, though. Man advantage now for HOTU. And they cannot squander it. Especially because of how do or die this round is for them.
Yeah, look at Gokushima. Already rotated in towards mid. He's found his kill towards B, and he's anticipating that potentially they could go somewhere else.
They are still leaning towards the B-bomb site.
Oh, Dox.
If you
This round is really in the palm of your hands here. Gokushima spotted. Instant shot there from Azuru. Just this steal of Swift steal towards mid. Leaf just baiting. Finds the kill eventually. Orp's gone. And Swift steal soon to follow. Ruler and Mizusa left to try to clutch this one out.
Shine finding that kill onto Case, really important. Only flashes remaining. No kits on these players either. We still have Leaf towards middle, so when Ruler rotates in, surely going to get taken down by Leaf. It's an important kill that Ruler has to find. Leaf got a little bit inquisitive there for no reason. I can't even think of one. And now the shots come through. Mizusa, an important kill through the smoke. The Molotov will force him out. Oh, and now there's some return fire.
Just seeing Mizusa behind this smoke, it scares me for what he can do. Flash will clean with these spams already, but health definitely does favour one pin here.
Zuu's in a great position here. He doesn't even need to move a muscle. And as we mentioned before, no kit on these players. Tap of the bomb will come through. Oh, Azui finds one and Shine takes him down as well. And Charlie, we're at 15 to 12. Look at the money of HOTU. One pin surely are going to close this one out. This is HOTU's map pick. You've got to imagine we could be seeing a 2-0 here. But obviously, a similar story could happen on Inferno, the king of the third maps. A map known, played by all. So we could be seeing HOTU take the next. But one pin, they only need one round remaining. They only need the final round of this map potentially. And look at the weapons that HOTU have to try and keep themselves alive. We've got a Deagle, 2 MP9s, a FAMAS, and a Scout against the full bite.
We have seen them do with less, but they really need to perform above and beyond here. Very silent. I think everybody knows no mistakes can be made.
Oh, this nade set up. Oh, one of them missed. He's been given a chance. The nade that would have done the damage missed, in fact. Oh, even with the counter flash, it doesn't matter. Shine finds the kill. Chris 7 as well takes him down. 5 versus 3 now. What a shot from Gokushima, though. Eliminates Leaf. Man advantage still in favor for one pin. And look at the minimap, Charlie. Look at Zuu. Yeah, exactly.
Oh. He's just completely abusing these kills that were found. He knows the defense is going to be split. He knows the weapons are weak, so they're probably going to take a gamble. So Azuu pushed out towards A. They can't really lose another player towards B. Chris 7 does fall. The bomb just outside of the B doors. Docs has to find 2. He doesn't. This bomb might not actually be spotted.
No, they found
it certainly is now. They might just have done enough here. It could come down to kills. A lot of util on Shine. A couple of flashbangs on Azuu.
Flashes will come over. A lot of them as well. And they're just going to be pushing through. But Ruler spamming his way on through the smoke. And somehow one pin. I'll be honest, they threw that round away. The second we saw Azui progressing through A, just leave B. Just leave it alone. Just go towards the A bomb site. You're against FAMAS's, MP9s, a Deagle, and a Scout. And you weren't able to find success even after getting those opening picks. A devastating way for one pin not to secure this one.
Look what it's done. A couple of Glocks in play, a few Deagles and the AK. Ideally, I'm sure one pin would love to fully buy, but they know the sort of consequences that could come with that. Util's very limited on HOTU, but if they can win this round, it might not matter that much. Chris 7 does fall.
Nice find from Shine, though. That's the A-bomb site open. If they can try and take some control towards Donut, it would be perfect. The flashes will come through. Swift Steel has spotted the player in Temple. Nice kill onto Shine. Very much aware of his position. Mizusa going to be swinging, but Azuu will find him. 3 versus 3 now. Azuu going to be searching for more. Oh, he gets another. That is ridiculous. And they're just going to be going out towards middle. Gokushima is aware of this, though.
Just these pistols, Docs, falls as well.
It's ridiculous.
It seemed like a bit of a risk there. It's such a scary place. A lot of angles to clear and a lot of longer range angles, but Azuu surely can't find another. Does get found by Gokushima eventually. The kills that were found, though, could be instrumental.
Because look at the money on certain players. Ruler, Mizusa really don't have a strong buy. Obviously, Gokushima can drop, but we're going into the final round here. Leaf potentially invested a little too much. We won't see an AWP on Shine either.
Could if Azuu does drop one over. I mean, Shine could invest in one himself if he does go Kevlar. And the AWP will be interesting. Instantly gets out of the AK. Do we see a Zuma with the AWP?
It's interesting. I feel like Shine, we've seen Shine utilising the AK quite a lot of the time here, and it has been working out. So, don't really see any necessity to bring it out. And no, we don't. And Leaf just opting for AK and the Molotov. Potentially final round of Ancient though, Charlie. I like this aggression from Swift Steel. Does take down a Zulu.
Got all the bodies for one pin outside this door. Dog's just sort of just standing in the open. Takes significant damage from that.
Yeah, and HOTU, they could be searching for overtime here. They've done a great job so far. They found an opening pick. Dogs are very low. HOTU now primed to take this one. Flash will come over. They are going to be leaning towards the B-bomb site now. Oh, Chris 7 could fall here. It's a 3 versus 5, Charlie, with Doc so low HP. Surely this can only go HOTU's way. Aggression coming through here. Shine to try and find this opening pick. Leaf going to be sending the deep Molotov here. The bomb site is, in fact, taken. Can be planted in a very nice position. You do have Doc's hold in the flanks. Oh, but look at Shine. Perfect position here.
He does find one through the smoke. And Docs is holding the flank. It's such an individual-based setup, but I feel like it's the only way they can win this one. Docs, low HP, holding the flank. He's got players coming to him now. Docs does find one. He's only 19 HP, and he's still having impact.
Oh, and it's all on Shine now. Oh, Docs still towards Ram, but he's going to be tough. Oh, Docs 1 versus 2 now. There's very little time remaining. They're going to have to get on the bomb. They will drop a smoke. And Docs... Oh, the smoke's a little too deep. Is there not time? Surely not.
I think they got on too late. Oh, no, they did.
Oh, that is devastating.
They had kits, and that's how they lose it. Oh, that is brutal. That's got to be messing with your head, Fred. That's the final round. That was one that was guaranteed to go HOTU's way. And they lose it because, I mean, that's the pressure there. That's what grand final does to you. Those silly mistakes. HOTU would never normally do that, but that is brutal. But 1 pin, Fred, they do take that one 16-14.
Yeah, an absolutely ridiculous game. I feel like it had everything. We saw those crazy eco rounds going the way of HOTU on that initial half. And then we kind of saw a little bit of the same coming from 1 pin. But an absolutely crazy matchup. We had everything. We had individual brilliance. We had great team play. But seeing as 1 pin took their opponent's map pick, they are in the driver's seat here on Inferno. It is a map that they are very strong on. But we are just going to be jumping into a break before we go to the second map, Inferno. Hello there guys, welcome back. We are going to be jumping into the second map. Obviously it is Inferno, has been selected by OnePin, so we could be seeing a 2-0 here. But obviously we saw OnePin take their opponent's map picks. There's nothing to say that HOTU can't do the same here on Inferno, but what are your thoughts jumping into Inferno, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, Inferno was really, H was really up in the air. It feels like OnePin, at least on the full buys, had the advantage. They really were a little bit sort of lackluster against the anti-ecos, and it allowed sort of HOTU to have a T-side at all. Those 6 rounds, you've got to think they all came from those sort of half-buy eco rounds that they ended up winning. So I do think if OnePin were able to stabilize that, they probably would have won Ancient a bit cleaner. Inferno, you mentioned it earlier, it is sort of the king of the maps. Obviously only being played as the second map here, but just due to that, everybody does know how to play. It's a map that in most best of 3, you're probably going to see it, chances are. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a map where both teams are going to be very capable at it, very competent at it. Obviously, OnePin, they did best VP Prodigy 16-4 on this map, so it's going to be very exciting to see if they can sort of have similar sorts of dominance. But it is a grand final. You got pressure here, you got different circumstances. It can sometimes force you into a different play style. So I'm in general just really excited to see how Inferno does work out.
Yeah, well, obviously the last map, Ancient, ended in a very interesting turn of events. We kind of saw it. Dox was very low HP, 1 versus 2, and they ran out of time when they had 2 players alive. With there was still about 12 seconds remaining. I don't really know why they didn't get on the bomb so early, but these slight little mishaps can completely change a game. We would have been going to overtime. We could potentially would have been still in that Ancient map by now, but it is interesting to see, and I feel like that is certainly going to affect a team and also an individual's mentality, especially because everything's on the line. There's no second chances. This is the grand final. As you mentioned, pressure is at an all-time high, and for HOTU, they're going to have to somehow kind of get themselves back into this series because they're already at a disadvantage, and now they're going to be playing on their opponent's map. But as you mentioned, Inferno, king of the third maps, I feel like we can see HOTU take it. And if they can come out the gate swinging, I feel like they do have a really strong chance still in this series. And I feel like if it goes to Overpass, it might be a little bit troublesome because Overpass, I believe it's HOTU's strongest map. They've looked absolutely amazing on Overpass in recent games. So you've got to imagine OnePin, they want to close it out here and now. They want to close it out in a 2-0 fashion. And obviously, we kind of spoke about this before. They're the first UK team to get themselves to the grand finals. Will they be the first UK team to win it?
I think only time will tell, but it's exciting to see. So the thing that I think we've got to see from, both teams is shine. And obviously Gokushima had some big performances, both top of the leaderboard for either team. They've got to be able to sort of try to continue that form into Inferno. And I do think potentially Gokushima could have the slight advantage. He's going to be the one starting on the CT side, or at least you'd suspect he would be. Whereas Shine could be on the T side. Can be a lot more challenging to sort of AWP on that T side. Obviously, Shine, very capable rifler. But it might take him a bit longer to get into this game due to that fact.
Yeah, well, guess we'll see how long it takes for him to jump into it, because we are jumping straight into this one now. Obviously, as we mentioned, HOTU will be starting on that CT side. So they've got slight advantage. Obviously, I still believe the map is statistically T-sided, but ever so slight, and I feel like a lot of teams still prefer starting on that CT side. A little bit of comfort, and potentially just wanting to get those early rounds on the CT side.
2-man being hold for HOTU right now. Very slow pistol round. Nothing's massively been taken. Swift still towards Banana. Is going to be peeking down. Had the chance to find a Zulu and got a lot of information that these players were backing off.
And I like this pistol round from both the sides. I feel like sometimes you'll see a little bit too much aggression from the T's early on, but then also you could see some unnecessary peaks from the CTs. But they're both playing it passively because obviously, as we mentioned before, everything's on the line. The pressure is at an all-time high, and no mistakes really can be made anymore. But straight away, you can see from the buy from HOTU, all players with armor, no utility. And as util rains down towards the B bomb site, you can see that it is going to be tough. But it is just this apps play, and Gokushima does find one. He's going to get swarmed here. Mizuxa finds the second. Oh, and Ruler rotating in finds a Zulu. And this fake has really not worked out for OnePin, not in the slightest. The CTs didn't even move a muscle. And Gokushima, he finds his second in this round. It's all on Leaf, 1 versus 5 here. A near impossible round, and especially without armor, going to make things even harder.
I mean, in this round, HOTU, they fully invested in armor. There's no diffuse kits, no utility at all, so nothing to stop any sort of push. I think one pin probably could have actually just went for all. No way is this doable. He's basically got one bullet in the mag. This is a real risk here instead.
He could have planted.
Full bomb plant, yeah, could have been quite important there, but opted for the swing with one bullet. I don't know if that was the play, but I like the effort, I suppose. Still damage dealt, but like I said, I feel like one pin probably could have actually just hit the B site there. There was two players. The smoke sort of isolated the coffins player, even in the fake. We saw there's that one player towards new box. Imagine if there's 5 players fighting that. No diffuse kit, rotations are very long on Inferno. It could have really sort of just been round defined and just gone for a B hit.
I feel as well that the kind of the Apps aggression came very soon after the fake. You know, one pin, they didn't really have that much time to even sell the fact that B was potentially the play. Oh, a nice find there. Shine does get one. Gokushima with a nice double. Case rotates down Banana as well and finds Leaf. Chris 7 and Docs all that remain. Mizuks have been dropped down to 32 HP. We could see a second kill being found here. Chris 7 does take down Mizuka. Does get found by Gokushima. He's found 3 in this round. And Case with the MP9 will secure it. So 3 rifles are going to be saved into the next. But one pin with just the Glocks, they did a great job there. They found 2 kills.
Yeah, it's not too bad there. Just finding a couple of frags with those Glocks. You can't ever really expect too much from them.
Full buys in play though. Slight limitations on the side of HOTU as we've got Swift Steel and Ruler with these weaker weapons. Swift Steel sends the Molotov early. I think he tried to molly Broom in fact, but it did just miss its mark. Three players towards B for now. Gokushima was just dropping some utility over. We'll see the smoke towards long.
One pin should be able to take Apps. No trouble at all. No sort of aggression really from HOTU. They've got a couple of... It's quite passive A-hold really.
I like how one pin are taking Banana. They just play contact there. Obviously, they've got a little bit too deep towards B. So Swift still did spot him. Case in a nice position here. Smoke will land. We'll send the nade as well. Fair bit of damage onto Swift still, but nothing crazy.
I mean, very passive here from HOTU. I do like it. It's a bit of a bonus round. You sort of force them into you. You can really get these sort of MP9s, these masses, fully utilized.
Bit of miscommunication there from HOTU. One player sending a molly, the other sending a smoke. Obviously, instant smoke deployed, but definitely not the right game plan.
30 seconds on the clock. Smoke towards CT. One pin sort of have to hit the A site here. Ruler's rotating in, going to be bolstering up this defense of the B side. Flash coming over, it is good.
Secondary one as well, blinding. HOTU will lose a life though as Swift Steel falls, but very minimal time remaining, and Ruler will be able to find one. They just need to take him down. 5 seconds remaining. Is the bomb even going to get planted? No time. Everything's gone wrong here for one pin, and Gokushima still waiting around for this lurk towards long. Does find the kill, and that is devastating, especially as the rotations would have been so slow there.
It is unfortunate stuff. One pin, they had the chance. It feels like they were slightly too slow on the initial hit onto the site. I mean, time is very limited as it is, but he didn't really want to seem to fully commit. They are going to be force buying in this one. Obviously, you know why. Obviously, he had the saved players. Money wasn't great in the reserve. They would have had an eco with having 2 players not be able to buy next round. So, I'm opting for the buy here.
HOTU, they've started things off very nicely on their CT side so far. Ooh. You see the flash there towards Banana. Counter flash coming through from one pin as well. Util sent over now. 2 defenders here towards A. They are going to be sending the coffins flash in, and rightly so. Taking some control towards Banana. But it is just Ruler and Mizuka to defend. They've got a lot of work to do here.
Splitting from long. Mizuka's been so solid towards this pit position. Doubles up, keeps himself alive, getting pressured. Eventually does fall, but man advantage for HOTU.
Player towards short here. Leaf needs to find this frag. Oh, pinpoint accuracy. The smoke towards library as well. Forcing him back, but Gokushima finding one. The bomb can go down. 1 versus 2 now for Izuru. The Molotov might force him back. He has been heard. Oh, fully blinded. Does find one, but nice trade there from Case. AWP has been saved, but HOTU, they find 4 in a row here on a little bit of a util collection route.
I don't know if you found absolutely anything, but doesn't matter. It looked good from HOTU there, though. They're looking very impressive in Inferno early on.
Yeah, obviously, we still haven't seen Shine on the AWP. The money's not really been perfect for 1pin, but they're going to be buying out again, once again. Seeing as they've got that loss bonus, they got the bomb plant, a lot of kills as well. All it takes is 1 round going the way of 1pin, and that's when the money will be broken for HOTU. That's when we can see 1pin come back into this one. And they should find 3 rounds off the back of 1 round success, because the lack of money might force HOTU into having to fully invest. Wazuwu does find 1, does get taken down to the Molotov. So 4 versus 3 very quickly here.
I mentioned that I feel like Gokushima and Shine need to start things off well, start things off quickly. But it could be more challenging as Shine is on that T side. Right now, Shine has 1 kill. Gokushima does have 8. Has just doubled up there. Shine sort of gifted a kill from Swift still.
Rula going to drop the Molotov a little too late there. Will allow Shine to progress his way on through. Chris7 in a great position here. Finds the AWP of Gokushima. And now he's going to be progressing through the A-bomb site. He's just operating as this lurk, though. He can find Mizuxa. Nice molly. But Rula is in front of it. Oh, but a great find from Shine. Chris7 does fall to Mizuxa. But I don't think it really matters. In 1 versus 2 now. He will be going for this one. Without a kit. Might be tough. I believe there is 1 dropped, but still going to be a hard round. I feel like Mizuxa just go for the save. He does just that.
I might try to say Gokushima's AWP. Knows where that is. Gonna have enough time to get it, so still going to be a decent chance. Money's not great on the side of HOTU, though.
I think definitely the right play to make, though. Just go for the save. No need to kind of force anything. Obviously, can save that AWP, as we mentioned before.
What will this buy look like from HOTU? Pretty lackluster, if we're being honest. It's going to be the 1.9k loss bonus, so they sort of need to force Fred.
Yeah, Mizuxa can invest in an M4 in this one. Can bring out a flashbang as well. So we should see at least 2 rifles, obviously including the AWP in that. MP9 brought out for Case. I think Mizuxa just questioning, do I bring out an M4? Do I go for a FAMAS and some utility? Obviously, goes for the former, wanting to bring out the M4. And it's not that bad of a buy. But we need to see Gokushima and Mizuxa stepping up massively. And straight away, Gokushima comes alive. Oh. The dogs.
Gokushima. He's looking like a bit of a menace with this AWP.
And 9 and 3 currently. Obviously, we mentioned how the CT side AWP heavily favoured. But I feel like it's not as though we're seeing, you know, fancy stuff from Gokushima. It's just the simple stuff. Just going for, obviously, that peek down into Mexi. Quite risky, but for a player like Gokushima, not really much risk whatsoever. It is going to be this A hit here. The flash will come through. Chris7 searching for this opening pick. It does get taken down by Mizuxa. Once again, the pit player doing a lot of work here. The crossfire should be good. Leaf will find 1. Gets taken down by Rula, but the trade comes through. So 2 versus 3 now. The AWP of Gokushima still alive, and it's Swift steals Deagle and Case's MP9 to try and work some magic here. Azui is going to send the nade. Player coming from apps, 1 from short, and it's Gokushima jump spotting in the library.
It's still doable. These weaker weapons, though, you can't underestimate them.
Gokushima does have a kit, so he can slow things down a little bit. Oh, nice find from Case. He is just going to stick the bomb, but Swift still finds the frag. And HOTU, they find the round. 5-1 now, Charlie.
Yeah, it feels like that round was sort of 1pin's best chance. They could have found 3 off of that. They were able to win that. It could have been a sort of 4-3. And despite having such a poor start from 1pin, they could have really turned things around. But they got so heavily punished early. And it sort of feels like Chris7 just decided he's got a full entry into the site and just needed someone there to trade him. But there's a big difference between when Chris 7 pushed into the bomb site and when anybody else went for a sort of trade.
Yeah,
It feels like Chris 7 just went down for nothing there.
Although it was maybe only a couple seconds beforehand, it really did make a massive difference there. Once again, another investment, but oh, Gokushima besting Shine once again. Shine's really struggled in this one because he's been the opening death quite a lot of the time. Just really struggling to get himself working here on Inferno. As we mentioned, Charlie, we could be seeing a 1-1 scoreline after this one. HOTU, a side that we haven't seen that much from on Inferno, but obviously, as we mentioned, nearly all teams can show their dominance on Inferno. This is a map that you rarely ever see get banned.
He looks like he's going to be the end game here from 1pin. 4 versus 2 on the bomb site if they hit it quickly. Smoke towards CT. No moving from HOTU. Now the amount of utils coming over, you're going to see some rotations.
Like this flash from Case. Ooh, Swift still finds one. Leaf in a great position here. Does find Gokushima. Dox takes down Swift still. Azuru finding Case. And that is a great way to take the bomb site. 2 versus 3 now. We do have a player coming from Banana. A double ruin setup. It's Ruler and Mizuxa to try and close this one out.
Flash towards ruins, but no one actually coming out with it yet.
They might just be playing for exits here. Obviously, the increased radius of the bomb explosion can kind of force the T to rotate off a little early, but they seemingly are going to be going for this one. And Ruler finding that pick makes things very nice. Smoke will be dropped on the bomb, and Azuru can progress through this ruined smoke now. Does find one, but it's being stuck in the smoke. They need to try and find him. Oh, when he gets the defuse, that is absolutely amazing stuff there. HOTU, they find a 6th out of nowhere, a ninja defuse coming through. It seems as though Azuru had the perfect crosshair placement, just pulled the trigger. No need to hold off on that.
Yeah, Dogs as well towards Dark. It feels like he was in a prime position. Looked like HOTU was so aware it was going to be a heavy ruins hold. And it looked like they sort of overlooked Dark, but sort of Dark just swinging out, sort of gave his life away. He's the only player towards the actual site that wasn't sort of isolated by utility, but he fell just slightly too easily.
And you can clearly see 1pin, they are really struggling here on Inferno so far, but Shine will have the AWP in play now. Even after losing all these rounds, they are consistently getting stronger buys out than their opponents, just due to the fact a lot of these rounds have come down to the wire. Although HOTU's 6-1 scoreline really aren't too good in the money department. Oh, that is a brilliant find onto Leaf, or from Leaf in fact. Takes down the top performer here, and Leaf going to be finding a 2nd as well. Go for the 3rd here. Case, all that remains towards B, and Dox are waiting for this Apps aggression. Oh, I believe he spotted the tip of the cap there of Ruler, and 5 versus 2. Now, this is the round that 1pin have been searching for, and they might be able to find it. Oh, missed flashbang.
Flash, yeah, really wasn't great. Looked like he blind Azuru more than it would Case.
Type of position. Oh, that is exactly what we were talking about. The double take. He just half checked it. Nice find from Shine there. Gets his 4th, and we do see 1pin close out a round with a lot of players alive. And this is what we were talking about, Charlie. We're gonna need to see HOTU force buy in this one. They're not gonna get a buy in the next. So we could see 1pin. They can find 4 rounds here. It can be a 6-4 scoreline just off the back of one, and it will allow 1pin to get themselves back into this one. But we've seen so many force buys from HOTU, so many pistol rounds going their way. Surely we can't see it here again today.
I mean, it's sort of how HOTU's T side worked out for them, wasn't it? A bit lackluster on the full buys, but just all it takes is a round here. It can sort of reset just the finances of the other team, and this could be exactly what we see here from 1pin. They haven't looked great on their T side, if we're being honest, but they could still be gifted a few rounds just due to the economy.
Mizuxa will find Chris 7. 4 versus 3 now. They've retrieved an AK. Case in a great position here. Hopefully, for 1pin's sake, he does get checked. And we are seeing this aggression down Banana. We do have Docs in the back lines.
Oh, it's been as he commed. So Shine was aware of it, but he couldn't find anything. Docs, like you mentioned, did just spot a player. Obviously, they're going to be aware there's two now. But orb's been retrieved this round. Surely it can't spiral this heavily out of control. Docs, if he's not aware that they spotted him, he could get punished.
Push through here. Somehow, Mizuxa didn't take down Leaf earlier. Leaf was able to find Gokushima there. I feel like the only reason OnePin won that round was Mizuxa just let Leaf run his way on through.
I think they both pushed through the smoke at the same time, which is just so unfortunate. Yeah, definitely left his teammate a bit high and dry there. But this is it. This is the eco threat, and either way, this isn't going to be a perfect buy in the next round for HOTU regardless. It's 2.4k loss bonus. You look at players like Case on 1.7. Yes, he's going to get an M4. Maybe he might choose just a FAMAS instead. So much util damage done. Don't know who threw that molly, but fair enough. You've just got a lot of util damage on the side.
I think we could probably find it out, yeah. 310
util damage.
Is it a guessing game for me?
Well, I just spoiled it, but sure, guess.
No. On who threw the molly.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'm thinking it was a Zulu.
It was Leaf. Nice effort, though.
Well, Leaf got the kills. He can't get the util damage as well.
I'm afraid to say he did. He got it all. He's a
Not
man of many qualities. Throwing that molly is one of them. OnePin definitely closed the scoreline down a bit. Made this one a lot closer.
This was exactly what we were talking about, Charlie. All it takes, one round, and things can really spiral out of control.
Mag 10 out for Chris 7. Only one defuse kit on the side of HOTU. Util a bit lackluster. That's probably even, reasonably even, I suppose, on both teams.
Yeah, the round is kind of just slowly coming to a close, and it seems as though OnePin are going to be leaning towards the B bomb site. Case does have a smoke, and we've also got the flash on Swift Steel. Are they going to be boosting over this? Could you even peek round that corner on a boost?
From where, sorry?
From the cubby that that Case was just tucked into.
You could probably hold the line, but probably not peek around the corner, no.
We've got players rotating in, and everything's gone wrong here. We've got this A aggression. It is just Mizuxa to defend. He's tucked himself away here. Can't find the bomb carrier. Oh, and no one's taken the bomb site. Mizuxa with a double. Leaf will find Ruler. And there's no time. We're going to need
to get this kill now.
Yeah, it's done. It's over. Once again, I feel like OnePin, they kind of just outbrained themselves a little. They wanted to go towards B initially. They should have just sent it, but then they took their time. They spent a little too long going for the execute. The rotations were already in, so they kind of had to go back towards A. And for some reason, they just didn't clear the bomb site.
Yeah, I feel like they cleared the initial part and just assumed, yeah, it can't be at the back of the bomb site. And the issue is, it was only Chris 7 there. And he was the player with the bomb as soon as he got found. So tough that anyone could even get the trade, but it sort of does give off that sort of FaZe Cloud9 Austin Major final where the pressure is sort of making a few mistakes or OnePin.
And obviously, you know, with the recent increase in the bomb radius, a lot of people are planting towards the back of that bomb site. With, you know, 10-15 seconds remaining, just plant in the old default spot. You're safe. Just get the bomb down. You've only got 10 seconds to work with. You really gonna potentially sacrifice a round just because you want to plant in a safer place to save on the bomb site? Surely not. Oh, it seemed perfect. Seemed as though they were going to crunch on the Apps aggression, but Ruler and Mizuxa are doing a great job here. Just Leaf remaining. Does find one, but Ruler with a trade. And HOTU, they take the half here on the CT side.
Yeah, HOTU have looked very impressive with Inferno. Still, money isn't perfect for either team. OnePin obviously will get the buyout in this one. It does sort of feel like OnePin do have the chance to get these remaining 7 rounds. Or these remaining few rounds to find 7. They can win this one. There's no loss bonus on the side of HOTU. Their buy won't be great. Players like Swift still might have to force, so it could give the possibility that one pin could indeed find 7, but they need to win this one.
Well, they've got a stronger buy than their opponents. Once again, we see the MP9 out on Swift Steel. We orbs on both sides, but we need to see a little bit of a kind of bit of resurgence here from Shine. Oh, and everything's gone wrong. Case and Swift Steel, they find 3 between them. Instantly, one pin. They get dominated here.
Really can't seem to find anything going their way right now. I'm going to be heading back towards A. Dox falls as well. Ruler punishes him. Shine 1 versus 5.
And obviously, we haven't seen that kind of much frequency of HOTU playing Inferno. Potentially, they've been strategizing this map for quite some time, saving it for the rainiest of days. And obviously, that day is today, the grand finals. Everything's on the line. You've really just got to just go for it. It is Shine now, 1 versus 5. Surely you can't win
is
this.
actually going to be very important.
2 players
So
progressing
either way,
up short.
Shine's done a good job.
I like that he was playing anti-flash, but it's a 1v3. You need to find some kills.
I don't know if he was playing anti, if he was like... I don't know what he was doing, really.
Yeah, he had to have been playing anti-flash, otherwise he's looking at the floor.
Yeah, a little bit peculiar, but... Either way, HOTU do indeed find 9. That bomb plant is going to allow one pin to get another buyout.
This definitely isn't what we expected from one pin. It looked so strong in Inferno in their last matchup, but HOTU really bringing the firepower here.
On the damage dealt to Gokushima early.
Just drop the smoke. Will be repeating it. Firing some pot shots through the smoke. We'll just back away. Oh, and the timing there, perfect. They send the flash in. And Mazuk's are finding 1. 1-for-1 trade there isn't perfect, especially with the amount of players in apartments. It seemed as though it could have been perfect. Nice find from Swift Steel, though. He is currently trapped. Molotov will be sent their own. Oh, and even if you've got the flash coming, 2 players there, Zua and Shine, spamming away. They do find him. 3 versus 3 now. 2 players have been chipped down on the side of HOTU. One pin with a real chance to take this round.
They desperately do need to. B probably would be the smarter call. Look how passive Case is playing. He's only half HP, only 1 flashbang to sort of hold off any aggression. Gokushima are going to be clearing out brackets, and then we could see him rotate off.
Exactly that. He does just that. We do have 2 smokes here for one pin. 3 flashbangs as well. They are slowly clearing. Taking a little bit of a gamble, but the util will be coming over now. The smoke towards CT, the flashes as well. We'll just send in a flash of their own. Trade will come through. And Gokushima going towards ruins now.
Not going to see Gokushima going for any spams. I think it's a smarter play because often he can get chipped down quite a bit from it. Will he be aware of this positioning from Leaf? Top of coffins. Oh, this could be real dangerous for Gokushima if he peeks into this.
Straight away, Leaf eliminates him. All on Ruler now. Oh, a lot of damage dealt to Shine, but Shine can just keep himself alive. No damaging util for Ruler. The steps have been heard. Oh, and just hiding behind the fountain. That is so cheeky. A great way for Shine to find the frag in the AWP. Oh, it could have been saved there. I think he might have thought that was a rifle. Or maybe Shine just doesn't want to use the AWP.
Yeah, maybe not on the T side of Inferno. Haven't really got to see much of him with it. I don't even know if we've got to see any of him with the AWP really on this half.
I think he has got 1 kill with it. Well, no, obviously he found the 2 in the 1 versus 5 attempt. But
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
yeah, we haven't really seen kind of crazy rounds from Shine with the AWP, but I feel like once he goes to that CT side, we will see a lot from him. And obviously Shine had a really, really bad start. He's currently 10-10 now. Brought himself back to a level playing field. And if we can see one pin find this final round, it's not too bad of a half whatsoever. 9-6. Certainly not bad. Obviously, potentially not what they were looking for, but at the same time, this is the grand finals. You can't just discredit a team like HOTU. It's all about this final round. Without it, one pin might struggle a little here. Chris 7 just spamming through the wall. Nade will come through. Let's dodge some of the damage.
The aggression, a lot of players towards Banana.
It's going to be an absolute bloodbath here. Docs, he's the type of player that I'd normally see go for those kind of flick shots. I feel like he usually has some success, but they've got to
look like he's maybe a bit more just communicating then, because he's quite slow to react, in fact.
He didn't even move a muscle. Oh, Ruler in a beautiful position here. Does find 9 HP. Now the util will come down. Does get taken down by Chris 7. Azubu's still on this lurk. Still towards the B-bomb site. They are going to be going towards CT. Very minimal time remaining. And Gokushima on the bomb side does find one. He gets a second. And Mizuxa as well doubles down. 1 versus 3 now for Azubu. And Gokushima, he knows that Azubu was still towards B. And there we have it. HOTU, they find the 10th round here. 10-5. Not too bad of a scoreline. HOTU definitely going to be a little bit happier with the result than one pin though.
You know, the trading and the spacing from one pin sort of throughout most of that half felt very off. It felt like, I mean, you've got to look at it like that. Azuma was towards B. There was 2 players there. He found a kill on 1. There was 2 players on the A bomb site and 3 attackers trying to take them down. They just couldn't find anything. Not even 1 kill. And then one of them had an MP9. It sort of felt like weaponry. Yes, there was an AWP and an MP9, but 3 rifles, 3 AKs against it, and they couldn't find a single kill.
Yeah, really an interesting half. I feel like we had many questionable kind of plays from both sides. I feel like HOTU, though, obviously very successful there. I feel like one pin a little bit hesitant, and that might just come from the fact that, you know, this is the grand finals. This is kind of pressure to the max. So potentially you could see that hesitation coming through because of that. But I feel like HOTU, they did have a very good CT side. The pistol really could define this whole series. HOTU, if they take it, we could be going pretty much straight to overpass.
He's just going to be getting the information, sees the player towards bridge.
Still seems
another slower played pistol round by the looks of things. I do like that we're seeing a lot more slower played pistol rounds now. I feel like, look back a year or 2 ago, every pistol round used to be some sort of fast rush.
Gokushima going to be the one searching for this opening pick. I like the fact that you see the AWPers usually being the ones drop that P250, because usually it's going to be their kind of secondary weapon when on the AWP. Molotov will come through. Leaf is in a prime position here. They can just wait. They don't even need to peek, but the flash comes through. Leaf able to find one. The T-flash will blind him, forces him back. He's going to get swarmed here, but he can find a second. A great job done there from Leaf. Oh, spamming through the smoke. Azubu searching for something. Ruler has been chipped down a little. Oh, there's a player in the back lines. Chris 7 has spotted Case.
Both aware of each other. Case can't connect that all-important bullet, just spamming at the body.
Ooh, Chris 7 finding that frag. Man advantage going the way of one pin. Swift still all struggling. Both players have been spotted now. And Swift still, he's run out of ammo. But as the time ticks away, things could get very troublesome here. They need to get on the bomb now. No time like they're present, and they haven't got enough time remaining. Oh, they do have a kit, in fact. Azuri, he might have it. Oh, it's
so up in the air.
Oh, they have it. That is
0.1 seconds is what was remaining on that bomb. Very close. Very quick reactions there from one pin to be able to realize they need that kit instantly. They got it just enough time. One pin, important pistol round for them if they want to have any chance of winning this series 2-0.
We saw Azubu strafe jump there to get to the bomb. Without it, they might not even had enough time.
I think you're going to be talking about the strafe jump that Sixer did on train. He just sort of strafed away from the bomb. Yeah, he didn't have enough time, but...
Or the 1G. There's just... I feel like train has so many diffuse mishaps. Yeah,
so many absolute blunders.
Bring it back. Because then I can start blaming the map for my blunders.
Do love train.
If you had to sub it out for a map, though, which map's getting the kind of...
Dust or Vertigo, I'd probably say.
Dust 2 or Vertigo?
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a massive fan of either of those maps. I feel like there's a time and a place. But there's other maps, like Overpass, I could probably play non-stop. Dust to Inverse going, not either of those maps. Shine. Oh, looked like he's going to push in at the perfect time. It's obviously the force by from HOTU. With 3 rifles, so they've got a decent bit of weaponry. Leaf going to be dropping the smoke now.
It's all about timing here for Swiftsteel. Oh, great opening pick. There is a second player towards balcony. Swiftsteel's definitely not going to be aware of this.
Mizusa. It's just probably going to be frontline in this.
Oh, and that is brilliant from Dox. Gets a double with the UMP. Leaf will be able to find 1. 3 versus 2. Now the bomb needs to go down. Gokushima aware of the prospect of the Ruins player swinging. And Gokushima could get swung here on the plant. He planted out in the open. A really risky plant, but they do find success here. Chris 7 waiting for this lurk. Time and time again, we've seen kind of players lurking towards long very late into this one. But we've got an AK on Swiftsteel. Definitely going to be the one to watch in this round as Gokushima, very low HP. Swiftsteel will be trapped in the corner though. And straight away we see the trade come through.
Yeah, Swiftsteel, it's such an awkward position to be in because Gokujima's trapped towards pool. 1 bullet will take him down. And he sort of wanted to take the contact away from Gokushima. But the issue is, Gokushima just fell so quickly. He thinks very challenging. But 1pin do best that force buy of HOTU.
We're going to see it again.
Now.
Swiftsteel's invested already, Charlie.
This is a real risk. In fact, 1pin, they might be aware of it because they have called a tactical pause. So I think they could be aware that HOTU are going to be going for some sort of force. Obviously, this buy is weaker than the prior. But HOTU in this series in general, they've won so many rounds like this.
And we can see it here again in this one. Potentially 1pin are just kind of going through the motions, potentially ready for this to be an eco and kind of strategizing to try and best this kind of anti-eco, but obviously it is just a full investment. HOTU, if they aren't successful in this one, they will allow 1pin to find 9, and I feel like I don't really know why they've opted to reinvest in this one. Obviously with the bomb going down, they could bring out some more weapons, but I don't know. I feel like it's a decision I wouldn't make, but if HOTU can win this one, then you certainly understand why.
I mean, these CIS teams, they've always loved the force buy. And they always tend to seem to make it work. So I think you definitely can't knock them for it. And you've got to think what it will do to 1pin if HOTU can win this. Their money's not great. 1pin potentially going to be forced onto a force buy. And off of this one round, HOTU could potentially find 13. So it could really sort of... I mean, it's very high risk, high reward.
Oh, he just scurries his way out of logs before the double nades come through. Case, I think it is lucky stars that he kind of just had that in the back of his mind. You know what? These nades are coming through. I'm going to get myself out of here. And just perfectly timed. But yeah, as you mentioned, I feel like a lot of CIS teams, they kind of make these very interesting plays that are a little bit risky. But quite a lot of the time, as we mentioned, they play out and they pan out massively. And that's a real difference maker. I feel like HOTU, potentially that's what has given them this success to get them to the grand final. Because if you're a team that takes no risk, you take no gambles, eventually you are just going to get bested by a team that's better than you. You're going to need to take some risks. And I like to see it. The util will be coming over. Leaf, going to be playing in front of the smoke. And as one player aggressive, Leaf does find 2 Docs as well. Finds a frag. Does take down 1 through the ruin smoke.
I think Doc wants to go for the spam on the bomb. Does a lot of damage to Swiftsteel and does deny.
Well, that is
And
brilliant.
look at what it's done to Ruley. Whiffs his spray, fluffs his line, and Docs finds the kill. Bit of BM to end it with as well, but no bomb plant for HOTU. They're at a point, Fred, where they are on full loss bonus, so they could have actually bought with another bomb plant, but that bomb plant getting denied is going to be quite instrumental. HOTU just going to have to take a half buy here. 1pin should be able to find 9, like you said. Game on.
Game on indeed. That was a great find from Docs there. We've seen HOTU, when they plant towards the B-bomb site, it seems as though they keep planting on top of the coffin there. Time and time again, we've seen them do it. So Docs is aware, gets the perfect spam. Chris 7 hasn't got this information that there is a player in Boiler, so Shine could potentially overlook it, but he's got his sights set on Boiler. A lot of damage dealt to Gokushima.
If bit more of just a split round from HOTU. I think they're looking for some individual picks. I mean, the individuals on the team are so strong. Mazusa already didn't anticipate that as Dox finds a great kill through the smoke.
It was in fact a missed CT smoke as well for Dox to work around. It is going to be this A hit here as we do have 3 players towards brackets. No more utility for HOTU, so this is going to be somewhat difficult, especially when facing off against Shine here towards long. Spots one, does find the first and the second and the third, runs out of ammo, switches to the USP, but not enough time. Ruler with the frag. 1 versus 4 now for Ruler. Fires off that pot shot towards long, will force Chris7 to swing here. Molotov will just force Ruler back. Might scurry his way up towards short, but Azuwu in a perfect position to take him down and does find success there. But as we mentioned, 1pin, they do find 9 here. 1 round away from their opponents, and HOTU, things are getting a little bit rough for them, especially because this was a 10-5 harsh, Charlie. But 1pin on this CT side, they've started things off very nicely. We've got AWPs in play for both sides now.
Pause called now from HOTU. I think they've realised, yeah, 1pin, they've definitely closed up the gap. And obviously, Ancient was sort of similar, where it was very close and up until the end. And just, I mean, 16-14, it was a mistake sort of from HOTU that cost us. So I feel like this series, every single map is going to be very down to the wire.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
HOTU called another attack. They've only got 1 remaining after this.
Yeah, well, I feel like this is going to be a very important round. It is going to decide how the remaining do fall. Obviously, if HOTU win it, they should be able to find themselves potentially in a 12-9 situation. Obviously, the money for 1pin isn't perfect. But, you know, players like Azuwu, Dox, Leaf, they should be able to slightly invest. But I feel like HOTU, they know the importance of this one. If they don't find success, 1pin should be able to take the lead. And once you find the lead, especially when you do have somewhat of a shaky first half, you get the lead back, you can taste success, you're on your map pool, or not your map pool, your map pick, everything would be going the way of 1pin. So, I like the idea of the double pause there. Especially on such an important round. Something to mention, Charlie, Leaf's on 21 kills. That kind of just blew past me. I didn't even realise how dominant Leaf's been, but that is absolutely disgusting. Shine, the confidence to go for that type of peak.
Yeah, Mazusa, I mean, that's the issue when you sort of don't fast clear that. The fact that you are slow enough where it's obviously not an easy shot, but it makes it easier for these AWPers. And Shine with a great way to start things off.
Especially when you've got the ability of a player like Shine, you really don't want to make anything easier for him. I'd certainly want to make everything as difficult for Shine as possible, because then you've at least got maybe a 50% chance of surviving.
And a lot of the time as well with that shot, you can end up just wallbanging them. So really impressive that Shine ended up finding the kill.
Chris7 playing towards Pit. We saw Mazusa put in so much work in this position, and Chris7 certainly going to have to do the same. Has fallen a little short here on Inferno so far, but certainly can bring himself back into this one. Dox towards CT. Once again, another missed CT smoke. That one did work out though. The util will be coming over now. Leaf on the back of the bomb site. Got a lot of work to do. Just towards Pillar here. Does find one. Great find from Leaf, and now he backs away towards Nubox. They are aware of him, but Leaf doesn't even need to peek. He can just hide towards Nubox here. We do have Ruler in the back lines though. That's something that Shine needs to be aware of. Must have spotted Shine. Yeah, takes him down, but very minimal time remaining, and that's it done. Dox with a double. Leaf confirms it, and 1pin, they level things up 10-10 here.
It does sort of feel like HOTU are trying to overcomplicate these rounds a little bit. Obviously, it was a real risk what the SC did initially. They had 2 players towards B, and you saw Case was just swinging out individually. Obviously, trying to get that information, but what could have happened? Already, HOTU had a man's advantage. If Case fell there, the bomb was nowhere near to be able to go for a trade, and there wasn't even backup where they could have executed off of that. It would have just been the bomb on Gokushima just going alone into the B bomb site. So definitely a real risk there. This is, I feel like, Fred, where the pressure's really starting to mount for both teams. Because you've got to think, for 1pin, they're 6 rounds away from closing this out. They're 6 rounds away from being our champions of the SCL. And HOTU, same situation. They're 6 rounds away from being knocked out. Docs, though, a lot of work to do. So many bodies hit. He's dealing with it very well. Case, all that remains, does have an AK, but Zulu can just swing through this smoke and find him. Job done. 1 pin. I think for the first time in this map, they have taken the lead.
Yeah, they've looked brilliant here on Inferno. The CT side clearly a side that they're definitely the favourites on. And they've won 6 rounds in a row, Charlie, but I feel like the pressure for HOTU is far greater than 1 pin. This is not just to win the series. This is for survival. If HOTU loses, it's over. As you mentioned, 1 pin, they take the crown, but also HOTU, they were 10-5 up on the half switch. They were certainly in the driver's seat, but they're really struggling on the T side. And something I mentioned quite a lot of the time in these series, kind of on your opponent's map picks, I feel like you really see the difference in ability on the T side. That's where you see the kind of the misplays, the slip-ups. Oh, Gokushima. Oh, Docs, that is absolutely... That's a big blunder there from Docs. Azuru does get the trade, takes down Gokushima. Chris 7 with a lot of work.
Defend this A site, yeah, so much work from both of them. Chris 7 drops the smoke. Pierce not an easy position to play here. The flash is good. Probably could have found the Apps player. In fact, Swift still advanced the graveyard. Does find Shine. And now Chris 7 in pit's going to get tested. I love this angle he's playing. Very cheeky. He doubles up. That's the bomb drops. Time's delayed for these rotations to come in. And Lee for the Zulu. Clean up. Chris 7, take a bow. That's all on you.
Yeah, that was a brilliant play from Chris. I feel like sometimes you'll see the pit player swing out a little too early. But Chris, he got himself on the bike. Played a perfect angle, no spams even near to him whatsoever, and got that double. The bomb went down, and it just everything went well there for 1 pin. But the fact Chris 7 could stay alive for such a long time there completely put the team on his back in that round. And I feel like although Chris, he hasn't had the greatest of starts, he's 11-14, he single-handedly won that round for 1 pin. And I feel like when you're extending the lead, a round that can really change the whole state of this series. Even if you're at the bottom of the leaderboard, you're the one to do it. You've got to imagine the confidence booster. You've got to imagine all the players in the team speak, shouting his name, completely praising him. And rightly so, 1 pin, they increase this lead now. That's 7 in a row on the CT side. And then once
Chris
again...
7 was the only player on single digits before that round. That's such a big round, and it just shows these players, even if they're very slow, they don't have as much impact as we normally used to. There's just these rounds that can really just flip the script and just flip how the game's played in general. Great stuff from Chris 7. Half by here from HOTU. We saw how good they were on these sort of rounds on Ancient. We haven't seen the same sort of dominance from them on Inferno. Azuu could get caught out though. Zeus can't realistically go for this peak without just giving his life away, but HOTU, this round they would love to win it. Keep the pressure on 1 pin.
Mizuxa really caught Azuu off guard. Obviously, they heard the steps in apartments and just expected Mizuxa to stop, but no, just carried on aggressing. It seems as though it's going to be somewhat of an apps pot. Ruler lining up the smoke. I have the drip smoke here. Does have a flash as well. So we're still going to be sending flashes over apps as
Look
well.
where the bomb is.
Oh, Chris 7's in a perfect position here. Does find one. We have seen a player drop into short. Ruler will find him, and Swift still progressing on through. Oh, everything could go wrong here, but Shine with a 5-7 does find the frag. Switches to the M4, but as you mentioned, the bomb has gone here towards B. 3 versus 3 now.
They sort of need to kill this player in sight soon. Chris 7 does get a dink down, and Ruler just kind of an M4 and be in the backlines. Right now, the game plan's changed. No longer going to need to kill this player. They've got to kill the side players very quickly, both towards ruins.
Got a smoke for the bomb. They do, in fact, smoke CT. That is where Ruler's going to be leaning. But Gokushima, oh, Shine with a lot of work to do here. Does have a nade. Is just going to stick the bomb 1 versus 2. Oh, he just gets off it. And now he's going to be sticking it. Gets off the ball. Ruler's played this one to perfection. Surely going to win out this clutch. That was just a weak investment, Charlie. Somehow 1 pin weren't able to take it. And there was so... I feel like in all opportunities there when Shine tapped the bomb early, he could have just stuck it and they would have won the round.
I mean, I mentioned it's a round for HOTU that they would love to win just to keep the pressure on 1 pin. And we've seen them do those sort of rounds time and time again on their T-side of Ancient. It's been about a time that we've seen it on Inferno and they've just applied.
You've got to imagine as well, Charlie, what that's going to do to the 1 pin side. They were so ready to find 13. They were near destined to take it, but it just didn't go their way. But I feel like in those situations, we've seen Shine, he's won out these clutches very well in previous games, in previous kind of rounds as well. But I feel like in that situation, it's so tough. You're in a hefty disadvantage situation. After he brought it to that 1 versus 1, yes, he heard the pin pulled of the flash, but sometimes you just gotta stick it and hope, because the second you get off the bomb, if your opponent doesn't swing, you look a little bit foolish. Nice nade there.
Leaving once again though. Orps out for both teams. Rifles in play as well.
Something to
real limitations.
We've had 8 rounds of play here with 1pin on the CT side, and that's the first that HOTU have been able to best. Oh, and Shine takes his time, finds the frag. That is the lurk towards A. Dox will just drop the smoke here. Potentially will delay this HOTU aggression. Leaf with so much utility here. Oh, he's able to find one. Surely he's just going to back away here. Spots the second in pool. Swift still going for a very interesting kill there. Oh, the Molotov going to hold the bomb plant here.
Look how much time is delayed for. 2 more players have rotated in. Azuru's just holding for any sort of lurk. But 4 versus 3 on this bomb site right now. The bomb's only just gone down. Swift still being tagged down to half HP. Just tag damage constantly. Gokushima's going to be peeking straight into Shine's AWP, and he falls as well. Case does find one, but a quick trade comes through, and Swift still towards Dark. Surely this one's done. Surely 1pin can't throw this one away. And Azuru finds the kill. 13 does come, Fred. A bit later than we expected, but the money of HOTU, what's it going to look like? I think it could still be good enough for a buy.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the loss bonus did kind of just get slowly reduced, but with the bomb plant as well, they're still going to have money in the bank. Obviously, winning that round off the eco, you've got to imagine HOTU, they've got some money to play with, but that's the HOTU've only been able to win 1 round on the T side, and it came off an eco, it came off a gimmick round. 1pin, they've looked absolutely amazing against the rifles. 1pin, they seem to be putting no foot wrong. And realistically, Charlie, I loved how 1pin played that. Once they had that early advantage, they just had players posted up on angles. They don't need to peek. They know that HOTU needs to swing. When you're in those hefty disadvantages, especially in the post plants, you can't just be playing a passive playstyle. And we saw it. Gokushima peeking into Shine. We've seen Ruler peek into Shine in this one. And straight away, Charlie, we got rid of 5 versus 3. Swift deals 10 HP. And we should be able to see 1pin potentially find 15 off the back of this. We could be seeing 1pin getting to that final stage, getting to the position where they can close out this whole series, take the crown.
It's a similar situation to what we saw in Ancient, though, isn't it? 1pin, their full buys just looked significantly better. That's where they really dominated HOTU. But it was sort of these gimmick rounds that caught them off a little bit. But right now, like you said, HOTU only been able to win 1 T round, and it's off of this sort of weak half buy. It doesn't sort of spell good signs out for HOTU right now. Gokushima towards long. Dox has the opportunity to find him. Gokushima, important frag though. Bomb still towards T round. 45 seconds on the clock, so still time to play with.
There's a slight gap for Leaf to work with. Oh, he does find the kill onto Swift still. It's all on Gokushima. All 1pin need to do now is play as a team. He's got the AWP on his back. He can surely only find 1 kill. But Leaf, he's hungry. He's heard the steps. Oh, he's tagged him. Just going to drop the Molotov. And this could foil the plans of Gokushima. Might be able to take down Chris 7 here, in fact.
Wanting to boil it, it misses. You've got to go towards long. The round's surely done. Chris 7 surely isn't going to be able to fall. And Gokushima gets the bomb plant in time.
Bomb out in hand. Could have seen a knife kill there from Chris, but when the pressure's at an all-time high,
yeah,
you're not going to mess around.
I feel like the pressure's maybe a bit too high for that. I'd love to see it though, but if I wouldn't. I'd probably be terrified.
Oh
but
yeah, same.
1pin though, they do find 14. No bomb plant denies HOTU. I was gonna say denies them getting a buy. They are gonna be forcing into this one. Galil's in play, Deagle's in Tech 9s. HOTU could have just given up the game.
If they don't win this one, the money they're going to be working with, similar state, they're going to be on weaker buys. I feel like potentially just play for OT. You really can't be opting for a full buy in this one. If they don't find success, they've given 1pin at least overtime, and they've also given them 4 opportunities to close it out. And seeing as HOTU haven't even put up 2 rounds on their T side, you've got to imagine 1pin, they are in a perfect position to close out this series now.
That's why I feel like you do kind of have to understand why HOTU have gone for this though, don't you? They've only gone for 1 round on their sort of T side as it is. They sort of feel like, oh, if we play for overtime, we've only got 1 round so far. What are the chances of us finding 4 in a row? Maybe we just need some sort of more of these gimmick rounds. Maybe we just need something to catch these 1pin players off. This could be the best bet. This sort of has to be last chance saloon here. Otherwise, HOTU could say goodbye to the crown and just fall as the finalists.
obviously HOTU, we mentioned them before. They came up through the Masters division. They've got themselves to the grand final. So regardless of outcome, I feel like HOTU, they've really shown what you can really do here. I feel like we see a lot of the Masters teams, they come up from the Masters division and then they get shoved straight back down. They really struggle in the Challenger division because it usually is a different breed of player. But no, HOTU, they've looked great here. But Chris 7 does find Ruler. Bit of the leaf cam here. Shine takes down Swift still. And Charlie, things could be...
This is another one of those sort of fakes. 3 players towards A, 2 towards B. Only defender is Dox, and he's found 1. Job done already. If he can find Case, this would be unbelievable, but surely...
Dox just needs
Case,
to delay.
he's getting completely trapped. Dox finds the kill as well, and you have to look at that Mezusa. All that remains towards A. There's a real question mark. He's got to try to save. Does he try to save the Galil? Does he try to get an M4 before going down? But time's ticking. Worst case scenario, he'd go down after time, and that could really just sort of heartbreak every HOTU fan out there. Mezusa is able to keep this girl, gives him something to fight with, but Fred, this is looking like it's over.
Yeah, I think it's done. I think One Pin surely are going to take this one. They're really going to have to misstep here. They looked amazing on Ancient, but I feel like HOTU, we probably would have still seen One Pin take Ancient, but at least it would have been in overtime. But HOTU, they kind of messed up on that final round in Ancient, and Inferno, they really struggled in this one.
I mean, their CT side looked... I mean, it's HOTU CT side on both maps looked really strong.
Nice shot from One Pin. Shine just going to be falling back. He's going to be getting heavily rushed here. Chris 7 as well on the bomb site. Shine gets the second. Will get taken down, and Chris 7 still towards Pip.
Just going to be playing around the smoke again. Bloom's a little late, so he takes more damage than he probably would want. Finds the play towards Grave. Doubles down.
It's done.
And Chris 7 could end it all here. He finds Kate in 16 to 11. One Pin do find, and they are our Season 6 Challenger champions.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. I feel like I mentioned Chris 7 at the start of the whole series. I said that realistically, I think he's going to be the one to step it up, and for him to be the one to close it all out here for One Pin. You know, we started things off in this series with Chris, and he'll be the one to end it as well. What an amazing series we had on our hands. Obviously, we mentioned the map pool, seeing as it's kind of fairly even, but One Pin, they came with a different level of firepower here today. And what an amazing Inferno game from them. They had such a slow start. They were really struggling on their T side, only able to find 5 rounds. And on a map that's still statistically T-sided, you're expecting, we need to see a little bit more from you. But the second they went to that CT side, we saw how much they dominated. But congratulations to One Pin. You've got yourselves the crown. You're the first British team to get yourselves into the finals, and obviously the first British team now to take the crown. So an amazing performance from them. And yeah, what a great day of CS.
Yeah, I mean, you do also really need to praise HOTU as well. You mentioned it in the game. They came from the Masters Division, finished 7-1 in the regular season, and won the whole thing in playoffs. Looked really strong there. Obviously here in Challenger, and like you said, a lot of the teams who come from the low divisions, it can sometimes be a bit of a surprise, the level, the caliber of these teams. But HOTU, they fit perfectly in. In fact, they dominated a lot of teams, and right here, they knocked out some real favourites for the tournament and looked great in the final. A mistake on Ancient is really going to sort of make this a bit more of a heartbreaking defeat, and I think for the next few days, disappointment will really be surrounding that team. But I think after a few days, they'll realise and hopefully be very proud of what they've achieved, because first season in the Challenge division, they made it to the finals, and they've really tested One Pin here today.
I can't wait to see what they do bring next season. I feel like, was it VP Prodigy their first season they got to the finals as well? I want to say...
First season got to finals,
so,
then semi-finals, and obviously semis here again. So, yeah, I mean, these CIS teams, they're really looking great right here in the Challenge division. Always keep the competition as high as possible.
I feel like HOTU are a team to stay as well. I feel like they looked absolutely amazing in this kind of series. Although they weren't able to put up a map, I still feel like they really brought it to One Pin. But we kind of mentioned this in the quarterfinals or semi-finals. We mentioned that the fact that Into the Breach and Iron Branch both went out, we were wondering who the favourites were. And we kind of both leaned in a little bit towards One Pin very early on here. And obviously they bested their opponents in the semi-finals. They got themselves to this grand finals, and they did take the crown. So an absolutely amazing performance from One Pin. Just great stuff from them today. And I feel like it was deserved. It wasn't as though they kind of got a little bit lucky. Obviously the Ancient game, the defuse, a little bit unfortunate. But I still feel like One Pin would have closed it out. But an unfortunate turn of events for HOTU. But any final remarks from you, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, congratulations to One Pin once again. Brought it home for the UK lads. But obviously, once again, commiserations to HOTU. They played some really great CS. Unfortunately, they fell on the final hurdle. But make sure you all stay tuned for the next seasons because we've got some more great CS and some incredible tournaments coming up.
I can't wait for that next season. I believe it will be starting in potentially, I want to say maybe 2 weeks' time. Usually there's a little bit of a player break, but that has been it from us. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and we can't wait to see you in Season 7.